Want to talk about a clip that I just saw of Erica Mena on Nene Leakes podcast. Erica Mena was talking about how she didn't understand why Black people, more specifically Black women, I guess, got mad at her for calling Spice a monkey. And, to be honest with you, when that whole situation of Erica Mena calling Spice a monkey, I realized that there are a lot of Black women. Good morning, spiritual diva. I realized that there are a lot of Black women that are deranged and do not understand racial dynamics and racial complexities. I realized that then because I saw so many Black women defending Erica Mena. And, to hear Erica Mena say on a Black woman's podcast that she doesn't understand why people were upset that, she called Spicer a monkey because it wasn't a race thing or a color thing. It was an appearance thing on how Spice looks. That's exactly what I'm talking about because that's racist. Spice does not look like no monkey. Now, whether you think Spice is attractive or not, that's not the issue. I wish that she would have asked her, have you ever called a white tea woman a monkey? All of those lighter skinned Black women that you argue with, have you ever called them a monkey? When you argue with Sin Santana, did you call her a monkey? No, you didn't. You didn't. You called Spice a monkey for what reason? You see what I'm saying? And the reason is rooted in deep, deep, deep racism. And what else I'm tired of Black people doing is acting like just because you're a Hispanic or you're a Latina and you have some Black ancestry that makes you an Afro-Latina. Erica Mena ain't no Afro-Latina. Erica Mena ain't no Black woman. I don't care how many spray tans she get to darken her skin. If y'all remember her when she was in all of them videos when she was younger with Chris Brown and Fabulous, that lady had J-Lo's color. She is not Black. And it's very upsetting to me how everybody played with Black people. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody called her something racist that was for Hispanic people, it would be the end of the world. But it's so funny how everybody can disrespect Black women and it just be considered to be okay. Ain't no way you gonna tell me that a person that is not Black calling another Black person a monkey. A person that's not Black calling a Black person a monkey is not rooted in anything other than racism. Frankly, I think when Black people call other Black people monkeys and apes, it's a sense of racism and deep self-hatred. Because why in the world would you use words that white people use to degrade and dehumanize Black people? I feel the same way. Erica Mena, bro, like, I you know what I also hate? I hate non-Black women that have built their careers up in Black spaces because make no mistake about it, Erica Mena had a lot of Black women that liked her. I don't know why, but she did. She had a little whack acting career because of all the movies that she was getting put in on Marcus Houston and Chris Stokes, movies and all of that. You get all of this help and financial support from Black people because your own people, the Hispanics, the Latinos, I don't see them putting you on Telemundo. I don't see you there. You over there on Black people stuff. But yet you still have a sense of entitlement to Black people, a sense of being above Black people, a sense of being better. And you know what? I also wish that Black women will understand that just because a non-Black woman has a Black husband, a Black boyfriend, a Black baby daddy, half Black children, it doesn't mean that she doesn't look down on Black people. And definitely doesn't mean that she doesn't look down on Black women. Let's see here. Zion said, nice video on Princella. Oh, thank you so much. I made some people mad about that video. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Erica Mena, she says that she doesn't understand why black people got mad that she called Spice a monkey. Number one, I wanted to talk about the one drop rule and why it makes it easier when you believe in that to play, with black people, to play crazy with black people. Number two, I want y'all to understand that black ancestry is not the same as having black parents. I really wish that more people would understand that and get that. It's not. It's not. We want to talk about culture vultures, and I want to talk about number four, why, when we talk about Erica Mena saying that she doesn't understand, like I said earlier, why people were mad that she called a dark-skinned black woman, a monkey. What, like I said earlier, she knows why she said it, and she knows why she said it to her specifically. Let's see here. And black women still being her friend. I question y'all sanity. Let's see here. PhD Kimmy says the part where Princella was dancing. Man, bro. You know what? I really, she did way more crazier stuff than that, y'all, too. I thought I might get in trouble if I put it in there. Like, she's got some serious issues. Really. So yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I saw so many black women saying, "Oh, and she said that her son don't like." No, they were saying because Spice told Erica Mena that her son didn't like her, and everybody was saying, "Oh, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. That's the same thing." That's not the same thing. I'm not saying that you should tell somebody that, you know, their son doesn't like them, but that that right there is not the same as calling somebody a racial slur. Or I guess I would say saying something to them that's racially motivated. That's not the same at all. So I tell you your son don't like you and you call me a N-word with a hard R, or you call me a monkey, that's not the same. That's not equal. You could have said that's why your kids don't like you. That's why I don't like you. That's why you don't got to be in. That's why this, that, and the third. Why would you say monkey and you got half black kids? Why would you say monkey and you got black friends? Like, isn't she supposed to be super cool with Bambi? You have a really close friend that's a black woman. Why would you say that? Oh, and look, PhD Kimmy said that Stevie J, which I didn't know, told Erica Mena that her son didn't like her and she didn't call him a slur, only black women. And I'll tell you the reason why she only called a black woman a slur is because she's just like the rest of these women that aren't black, that like black men. They have a very deep sense of hatred towards black women that they don't have for black men because they want to continue to get that BBC or LBC, depending on who it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it should be studied, the idea that non-black women can simultaneously have intercourse with black men, but yet still feel like, first of all, they're superior to black people and still use racial slurs to degrade those men that they're sleeping with and their mothers. It's very strange to me. Very, very strange. I would never in my life support anything that Erica Mena does, watch anything that Erica Mena is in, nothing of that nature ever will I do. And she went on this apology tour to only say that she still doesn't understand. And that's why I feel like black people are too nice. Because if black people called you a whole bunch of racial slurs that apply to your community, would you get it then? Would you understand then? Would you say, "Oh wow, I don't like it that you called me that"? Or would it be, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. It's just real crazy. And I really do think that, like I said, the one drop rule is ruining everything. Oh, hey, Spicy. You can go ahead, sis.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Erica Mena is full of ish. She know exactly what she mean, and she need to stop playing. And I don't know why Nene allowed her to sit down there and say, like, I mean, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean you don't understand? she know exactly what she means.
Yeah, I don't know why Nene had her up there either. And like I said, I think, like I said, it's something about black people and black women being way more accepting and way more forgiving to other races of people for racism and other type of bogus behavior that they would never even give to their own people. Because imagine, a Hispanic person letting a black person up that had said all of these racist things about Hispanic people or Latino people. Like, would that be cool? Would they be as accepting as we are? More than likely not. But black people got to be the big goofies out of everybody and let everybody play in their face. And it makes me so, so, so upset. What exactly is Erica Mena offering society that you feel like you want to bite your tongue to let her be on your podcast? Like,
Yeah, and I mean, like, even being like an interviewer, she didn't have to be hostile to her, but she could have been like, Erica, man, like, you come on, you like, let's be for real, like, let's stop playing the game.
No, she's been on her rebrand since her little show on Zeus. Fuck the fuck. I'm sorry. I don't know if you allow cursing.
no.
Stuff.
Try not to use any curse words.
Okay, so stuff was her little podcast. She tried to rebrand on Zeus first before her podcast even came out, and that still didn't work with us. I don't I am very thankful that a lot of people are on the same wavelength that I'm on, and where we need to start really putting people in their places and start really putting our money where our money should be at. At the same time, we have a lot of work to do, and she's one of them. She's trying, and I don't want her to do. I don't want her to win.
I
Can I jump
agree.
in?
Oh, just yeah. I normally have an order that I go in. I just let everybody speak, but you can go ahead now. Bo, let me know. Yeah, Boku.
Yes, hi.
Hey,
Hello, ladies. How are you? Um, so we have to be honest, yo. We have a psychology problem in our community. Like, there's a huge psychology problem here, and it does boil down to the one drop rule. It doesn't make sense, and it's proximity to desirability politics. We as a community, I don't want to ostracize myself from the community, we're going to allow the Erica Menas and the Sin Santanas and all the others who disrespect us to come in and cosplay, and Cardi B's, no shade to Cardi B, but Cardi B too,
Yeah,
Lottos, all
she
of them.
thought she thought she was different too, just like
Yep.
Erica
yeah.
Mena thought she was
Hey,
different.
Love Bug. We gotta let
Oh, my bad,
Boku get.
It's
my
okay. It's
bad.
okay. But no, you're absolutely correct. And thank you for echoing that. Definitely thought that she was different. Got the same kind of man that the rest of us get. But there's a psychology problem. We want to see these women as black because then we can finally say, see, black women are desirable. But instead of, which instead they should be realizing that us monoracial black women with two black parents are fucking gorgeous and beautiful, but like I said, because there's a psychology problem, because we value our proximity to whiteness, whether that be through the Afro Latinas or the barely Afro Latinas, let's say, and our mixed people. We allow them to cosplay us in film. You can get someone who characterly, like their parents are supposed to be two black people, and they'll go and cast Yara Shahidi, Stormy Reed, Amanda Steinberg, all of these people. And no offense to these actresses,
Terrence
but
Ross,
they
Obama, Terrence.
they actively partake in the erasure of monoracial black people. And don't get me wrong, I get that it would be very, very difficult for them because for hundreds of years at this point, we have been including them in our numbers. But to deny that that is not literally based on racism, I think it messes with our psychology. And then, like, you want to talk about, oh, but black men are still dating black women. Go look at those numbers. Who do they consider black women? Are you talking about the biracials that they're dating? People would consider Erica Mena black and then say that her and Safari and her Bow Wow were in a black love relationship. That is a level of cognitive dissonance that I don't know that our community is ready to unpack. And because we're such an open, welcoming community, we throw ourselves at people for acceptance instead of turning inward. I don't know what we can do to fix this, but we have a psychology problem. Yes.
Yes, I mean I definitely agree with you, Boku. I think that it is something that we have got to try to fix. I don't know if it can be, because I do agree with you that the psychology is deep. I remember it was like probably like a year ago, I did a live where Cardi B had said something, right, that was clearly microaggressive and racist towards black women. I can't even remember what it was. And so I was talking about it, and there were so many black women that was going off on me and calling me everything but a child of God because I said that Cardi B wasn't black. I said that it's very easy to tell that this woman is not black. All you have to do is go and look at her parents. You tell me, do her parents look like black people? No, they don't. And everybody was using her hair as an excuse to say that her hair has a little bit of roughness to it. It has a little, so what? That she has probably a little bit of black ancestry in her line. That doesn't mean that she's a black woman. And I was just absolutely flabbergasted. They have let this woman call black women burnt roaches. Say that she has a whole interview on Vlad TV back in the day with her old face, where she talks about the fact that she's not black, where she talks about the fact that she prefers to date interracially. She prefers to date out of her culture and date black men. She talks about how she's prized and put on a pedestal above black women at the strip club because she's not black, and all of these other things. But black people let this lady play in their face because she got tired. The only reason why she started claiming Afro-Latina was because she kept using the N-word, and there were some black people that were like, hey, why does this non-black woman keep on saying the N-word like this? This is ridiculous. And then she started playing the I'm black v black role. That lady is not black, and it's so upsetting to see so many black people. Why would you even want to be connected to that lady? That lady looked like, man, I was about to say something. I'm not even about to say it. All I'm saying is
She's
that if you
Dominican,
judge her,
she's Spaniard, she
if you judge her on her previous face, like the original face that she was born with, the one where she has the hot dog nose that looks very, very much like a Spaniard, y'all, that will tell it all. That will tell everything that you need to know about about Cardi B. It's very upsetting to me. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. But I know all black people do not feel the way that the ladies up here on the panel do. And I believe that's the problem. And I have no idea why, just like Boku was saying about the proximity to desirability and stuff, which I do agree with that. But I have no idea how you could even think that when these women that come and try to do that, they still try to cosplay as black American women or black women, but more than likely, most of the time, they're stealing elements of black American culture and the things that black American women do. It's very, 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 very weird. But I'm gonna go down here to Spicy, and I'll let you speak for 3 minutes, and then I'll go up there to Love Bug.
All
Go ahead,
right.
Spicy.
Even like, I mean, desirability politics. I mean, I guess black women, we want to feel desirable, so we feel that way. But I mean, I've never really considered like mixed race people black personally. So I don't know. I'm not like black American, I'm African. So when I came to America, that was something I learned, that like once you're have like mixed race, you're black. And I was like, I guess since I'm here, but I mean, to me, I never really understood it because I don't understand how you black and you came out like, a white tea person's coochie, but that's for another day. And also to of course they want to date, black men because they get treated well, so-called they get treated better, which I mean, that's just what it is. So that's just what it is. Oh yeah, and for black women supporting them, yeah, some people are just slow. Cause and what talent does Erica Mena have in the first place? Like some people just slow. So that's just what it is.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you about I've always questioned that myself, the whole idea of you calling somebody black that came out of a white T or non-black vagina. I never understood that, because people talk about how black women are the mothers of civilization and all of this other stuff, but you think that somebody else that is white T or non-black can create a black person. It never made any sense to me. But I think that all of this leniency that black people have had has, created a firestorm of people being able to take advantage of black people. And even with the whole term of like light skinned, light skin used to be back in the day that a light skinned person was a fully black person that was lighter skinned. Now you have biracial people being included in the term light skinned. So now you skew how everyone perceives themselves, even though somebody like Lotto is not light skinned. Lotto is not a light skinned woman. Lotto is a white skinned woman. She has a white mama. So what do you think that she's gonna look like? You know what I'm saying? I think that when we do all of these things, I don't think anyone ever thinks about the deep, deep, deep problems that it's going to cause in the community, and it echoes down to affecting how young Black girls view themselves and a whole host of other things. Like it's really, I don't know, it's disgusting, and it's sad to me because I know that there are so many Black women that still don't have a problem with this type of thought process. Go ahead, Zion. You there, Zion? Let's see. Let me send you a request to turn your mic on. Just
I
okay.
was I did that by mistake, sis. I was sitting here cleaning off my desk and might have hit the damn thing by mistake, girl. I'm just
Oh,
listening.
okay.
I'm
Okay.
listening.
No
I'm
problem.
ready to jump in. I'm good, boo. You can drop
All
me.
right, no problem. Go ahead, Boku. Did you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think also a part of the problem is we're not talking about the men problem. Our men are the problem, period, point blank. And that's a hill I die on. You think about Kanye West, think about Tyga. Tyga specifically fucking said he went to Kylie and them and told them, nah, do your hair like this, do your da-da-da-da, and colors like this. This is what Black women want to see. He literally said it. And then, like, he came out and complained, like, oh, I told her I put her on. Well, nigga, excuse me, well, sir, what you want us to do? You just admitted that you gave them the fucking recipe. And then you're gonna cry to us about it? You just admitted that you sold us out. Which, to be perfectly honest with you, you got an Asian mama, so your ass shouldn't have been up in here in the first place. You literally only got in off the strength of your Black daddy who stepped out. And then you took your ass out and cheated on a Black woman with a white woman. And then you gave that white woman the recipe to our ingredients. And then you're crying when she took the recipe and left you. They do this shit all the time. And then I want to understand, how do they think that we're going to, like, people love complaining and like screaming about gatekeeping. How do you expect us to do that when you all go out and procreate with white women, and then like women carry and raise the children? So you want these children to be Black with a white mom, when the white mom is going to teach them their white culture. The white mom isn't going to teach Black culture. And Black men, and for men in general, let's not
All right, you
even.
need to shut up. You yapping too much.
All right. So anyway, and much like that male,
I mean, it's so
uneducated. No,
weird. Like, I have no idea why men just join the panel just to do something like that. All you're
that's
going to
that's
do
so
is get
bizarre.
dropped. It's
That's
very
so
immature.
bizarre. The brain isn't on. They're on fucking autopilot, just going throughout life and slinging dick and slurs. Like, that's all they have. It's just crazy to me. But anyway, I don't understand like the cognitive dissonance. It's not even about the interracial dating. It's about the interracial dating and then expecting interracial dating specifically with non-Black women who you want to raise your children, but you want them to teach them about a culture that they didn't grow up in because you don't want to be there. I don't understand.
All right, Boku. I wanted to respond to what's this person's name? Alice in the comments. I have no idea what you're talking about and what your goal is. Nobody said that there can't be darker skinned mixed people. I don't know what you're saying and what the purpose is on you even mentioning that. That's not what we're talking about. I know there are dark skinned mixed people. What I said is that the mixed people that are not dark, they have now managed to transform what light skin is viewed to be as, and what it does is cause further erasure of the monoracial Black woman, is what I'm saying. So I don't know what else you got going, but you don't even have, you can't even, if you can request up, you can request up. But if not, I'm nobody's defending the light ones. I never have in my life defended any biracial person, whether they are light or dark, or any non-Black person at all that wants to play in Black culture. So, or pretend to be Black. So maybe you need to take the baggage on whoever you have had these issues towards to their life, but not this one. I never seen you before a day in my life. So if you have an issue, you can go ahead and get out, or you can get in the box. I'm going to go ahead and send you a request to come up. And if you don't come up, I'm going to go ahead and block you and you can go ahead and have a rest of your day. Okay, thank you. You said I'm triggered. Well, we'll see how triggered you are when you get this block. Have a great day, sis. Goodbye. Okay. I'm about to play. I don't know what her problem was. I have no idea. Like some people be like very weird. And the other lady that was up here that kept interrupting and speaking, like, I don't know if she had like some liquor this morning, but I just felt like that was really disrespectful. None of the people on the panel today I've met before. Like normally, it'd be like a lot of people that I talked to previously. And I just think that if you come on somebody live and you don't know them, then you got to know that probably two things you shouldn't do. You shouldn't cuss at first because you don't know, and you shouldn't interrupt people. That I thought that was just common courtesy that you let people speak and get their feelings out, because what if they forget it or whatever? So that other lady that I kept muting because she kept doing that, I don't know what she was on. She ended up dropping, but I didn't drop her. I don't really know what she was on, to be honest with you. But anywho, I like I said, the other lady that is in the comments that her name was Alice, I blocked her, so she's gone. But I will say that just like Boku was saying, it's definitely a problem that also Black men encourage. It may have even been one of the, the number one factors in why things are the way they are, because of Black men. Black men, that's the reason why Black men say like to rationalize away dating non-Black women. Oh, it's the father. If your father's black, you are Black. That's not true, sir. DNA comes from both people. Okay? If you are Black and you have a baby with a white T woman, that baby is not Black. And if you think so, you're stupid. And you even have some Black women that say that stupid stuff. And it'll tell it all is once that child goes and gets with another person that is white T after that, what do they look like? Whole line is gone. Look at Meghan Markle's children. Huh? Meghan Markle was a biracial woman that married a white T man. Her children look like pilgrims. Exactly. So I really need y'all to stop that. But Black men, I think because it's very hard for them to come to grips with their self-hatred, that they want to try to pretend that their goals and ideas are not to wash out their line because they hate themselves, that they have to come up with lies and weird stuff like that. Like, oh, yeah, no. If the daddy black, you Black. No. That baby's still biracial, sir. And if that baby doesn't choose Black, you're gonna see what them kids look like, and they definitely not gonna look like you. Like, and it is what it is. And I wish that people would just admit the truth, like as opposed to being self-hating. But I definitely do think that Black men and their self-hatred and their desire for other races of women and to rationalize it away, and so that they can still look like they care about the Black community or that they don't hate themselves, is the reason why a lot of things are the way they are. But a lot of it boils down to that. Like, if you look at any type of historical context of these type of things, you'll find out that what I'm saying it's not an opinion. It's not to do a dig on Black men. It's exactly the truth. Let me go up here to what's this person? Let me blow up your picture so I can see if you're go ahead, Malbay. If I mispronounce your name, sir, just let me know how to say it. Or Mally Bay. You can go ahead. I sent you a request to turn your mic on. You there? Mally Bay or Mal Bay, you there? Oh, he said he can't unmute. Let me send your.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, shoot! I just muted you again. My bad, bro. Hold on.
Don't worry about it. No. It's okay. Okay. So this is one question I do want to ask because I've always found it curious, and this is coming from my perspective. When it comes to people who try to do interracial dating, I usually don't have a problem whether it's a man or a woman. I think my only issue, and I've noticed this with specifically Black men, when they do date outside their, race, why do they have a feel to put down Black women?
I don't know. That'd be something you probably want to ask like some Black men. There's one Black man in here, but is Black women in here, so I'm not for sure. But the topic today is Erica Mena, and you can see it on the topic right there.
Right. And So the reason why I'm asking that question, and I think there is some type of relation, is because maybe it's the way that people are raised. And, when it comes to like that 1% rule, I still think that if you do have some type of, if you have some type of black in you, you are black only for the reason of how society will treat you.
Okay.
And that's coming from my perspective. By the way, I've heard you explain your reasoning, and I don't have an issue with how you explained it, by the way. I actually do see a lot of rationality in how you explained it. My concern is that if we try to find a way to potentially isolate the people who, I guess, would not be considered black in your perspective, but also being rejected by society because they don't see them as biracial, I have a way that they might be, I guess, racially homeless. And that's something that I want to, us as a people to deter away from. So I wanted to see what we can do to bridge the gap
That's not our
between.
responsibility. That's not our responsibility. That's not black people's responsibility. And all the time, people put it on to black people. Why don't you put it on to the onus of the other community? Why don't you put it on to white people? Why don't you put it on to Asian people? Why don't you put it on to Indian people? Whoever is the other half for us, that we're not why are we the ones that are always supposed to be so accepting when everybody, including biracial people, are the ones that are most discriminatory towards black people? It makes no sense. The one drop rule originated within slavery. So if you continue to uphold that and say that, then that means that you are cool with that. You might as well just go ahead and put some chains on and walk around. We are not slaves anymore. One drop of anything doesn't make you that. White people don't look at you and say, "Oh, you know what? You have a slave master back in the day that raped your great grandma, even though you look super like a black person. You're white. Come over here. Let's worry about your racial identity and that you don't have any racial home." Nobody cares about that when it comes to, no one else is willing to do that except some lost black people. And that's the reason why monoracial black people are erased at the end of the day. If these people don't have a racial home, that's not, black people are very accepting. You can come in and be cool with black people, but you have to understand that you may be partly black, but you're biracial. Period. If the people care that much about somebody having a racial home, then don't have a baby with a white tea person.
Mhm.
Go find somebody of your own people and then have a child with them, and then you won't have to worry about those things. I think that's literally insane in 2025 with the way people take advantage of the black community and culturally appropriate it, use it, and then say things about those same people for you to say that anybody with a drop should be able to come in. And then to expect that of black people, but not to ever expect that of any other race. That's like literally insane.
Okay, so there are a couple things I do want to say. First, well, the first most important thing is the thing that you said about other races need to do better. I 100% agree with you. I don't think there's any reason why they should not be accepting. I think I do consider black people at the bottom of the chain in the way historically that we've been treated, whether it's basically being treated by Asians, being treated by the Arab community, been treated by white people. Just historically, we've always been considered, subhuman. And I think we can all agree on that, correct?
Yes, but if that's the case, then we're not, just like PhD Kimmy said in the comments, we're not a racial rehab center. It's not our responsibility to help everybody else. If
I
these people are biracial, then what they can do is, just like black people had to do, create your own community where it's just y'all. And y'all talk about whatever is affecting y'all, because a fully black person or a monoracial black person is not going to know your experiences, really. They're not going to be able to understand you fully and understand the struggles and issues that you have. So start your own. Start your own group. Y'all accept each other. Y'all interact with each other. But if for some reason, and this is also rooted in racism, people expect black people to simultaneously be the demons and the devils, and just like you said, be at the bottom, but then be the most accepting, but then create all the spaces for everybody, but then to do all the work and labor for everyone, to do that while still being looked down upon. That's literally nuts. Black people should not do that. Black people should never do that. If they want to do something, create their own things. It's not black people's responsibility to do none of that. It's on them and it's on their parents. And it's really just that simple. But I'm gonna go ahead and we can definitely have this conversation further. But let me let Antonio speak. I'll give Antonio
absolutely.
3 minutes, and then I'll definitely go back to you, Mally, because I don't want you to think I just because I disagreed that I don't want you to speak. Go ahead, Antonio. I put you up. Do you need me to unmute you? Okay.
I was when I first came in, I was gonna say something, but I'm just getting convicted by the Holy Spirit, and it's not productive what I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna go ahead and just yield my time back to the other gentleman. Y'all have a great day.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll go ahead and drop you, Antonio, because I have no idea what you was gonna say, but you said convicted by the Holy Spirit. Dare I say it was gonna be something cooning. Because that's what people do a lot of times, and I'm a believer, but a lot of times people use God to tap dance and coon, which is manipulative at the very least. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And just that whole thing was performative, because if you felt that way, why didn't you just drop from the beginning? As opposed to saying that. I think he just wanted somebody to do. Never mind. I'm not gonna say, because I'm not gonna be mean and rude. Because he didn't say it. I just know the game. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I just know the game. And like I said before, just like Boku said, black men are the number one people that are responsible for this. If you notice, the black man right there just said the Holy Spirit convicted him to get off. All right, that's number one. If the Holy Spirit convicted you to get off a year, why didn't the Holy Spirit convict you not to be on TikTok in the first place? Because TikTok got a lot of questionable things on it. But okay. Number two, the other black man that's up here right now, Mally Bay, is encouraging black people to be, just like PhD Kimmy said, a racial rehab center for people that more than likely hold microaggressive behavior and hold, implicit bias against the very people that he wants to be the rehab center for them. Now, you notice that the black women that came up here were not on that type of time. And that's exactly what Boku was trying to say. That the reason why we will never be able to fix any of these things is because black men are extremely submissive and docile when it comes to matters of race. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't any black men that are, would stand up, but I think we all know that the majority of black men have been completely conquered and buck broken to where these ideologies, they don't have a problem with them. And to me, that's actually terrifying. But if you don't have the men that, men are biologically stronger, men are more predisposed to violence and things like that. That's not a dig, that's the truth. And you normally look to men to like fight and stand up for things, if there needs to be aggression and violence involved, you normally look for the men to do that. The fact that the black men, and it doesn't necessarily, and it's not just black American men either, because people will come and tell you, oh, it's the black Americans. No, I've seen plenty of self-hating Africans all over Africa, all over the diaspora, that say a lot of the same things that black American men say here. So, when you have the men in your community that are completely buck broken and don't want to stand up for people that look like them, they want to give everybody an infinite pass to come in. That's how the erasure comes. That's how the cultural appropriation comes. And what people don't understand is that it starts there and then it morphs into something else, to where now everything about you is gone. It's been co-opted and almost sucked into something else. It's the reason why you have, so many women that clearly look Caucasian making rap music and doing all these things where you know what they got it from, but they can rely on the fact that they have, I don't know, a drop of black blood in them to rationalize a way why they can come in and grape the black community and not pour anything into it. But anyway, I don't know. Like I said, I hopefully, these things will change, but I don't have any hope for it, only because black women have to share the black community with black men. And we have black women that are lost, right? Like, I would say at least 50% of black women are lost. And then in my opinion, at least 90% of black men are lost. So that's going to create a chasm of probably black people forever staying in the position that they're in, But I'm gonna go to Boku and then I'll go back to Mally. If you had anything to say, Boku.
At this point, we're just talking. I definitely want to circle back though to the Erica Mena and Nene conversation part of it, because we have to also look at why you will see a lot of black women. Nene, Kiki Palmer does it too. Kiki Palmer glazes biracials like crazy. She glazes non-black people like crazy, and will say the most ridiculous. I'll never forgive her for looking for having an interview with Kamala and talking about your rap is so good, I can't get mine like that. And I remember being like, now why the fuck, excuse me, why would you say something so ridiculous? That is a biracial woman. And don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-Kamala, so please don't think that.
Oh,
But
I understand what you're saying. It's a
yeah,
safe space for you.
okay. But it is just the concept of looking at a biracial woman, somebody with a parent who is not black, and saying, "Oh, how can I get my hair like yours?" I just, oh my gosh, I don't understand it. So then when I look at Nene, who, unfortunately, if you see her behavior, Nene actually only speaks up about things that negatively impact her. If you look at the way that she moved with the whole Real Housewives situation, you're complaining about all these racial issues that are happening, but you're only speaking up now that it's finally happening to you. So that had already told me. I was like, I believe her. I believe everything she's saying that happened. The problem is, you only talking about it because it was a negative impact on you. You didn't care about it when it was happening to other black women that you were seeing. So seeing Nene go and give a woman who is racist against black people, a platform. Nene did it with Kim Zolciak. She stays friends with Kim Zolciak, and we know Kim Zolciak is racist. Kim Zolciak's husband tried to bring a gun to the Real Housewives reunion with all the black women. Excuse me, a G-un. Forgive me. A pew, yes, excuse me. It's moments like that where then we as a people have to make a stance and say, okay, are we going to continue to engage in this kind of content? I'll land that.
All right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think Nene Leakes is self-serving, for many reasons, but I agree with you. All right, let me go over here to Mally again, and then I'll go to thought crimes.
Respectfully, I saw that I'm sorry. Respectfully, I saw that another person joined. I would like to yield my time because I would like to hear this person speak.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'll come back to you, sir. Let's go
Thank
over
you.
here to thought crimes. Go ahead, thought crimes. You there? I want. You there? I wonder if she accidentally requested, because sometimes that happens with people. Thought crimes. You there? I don't think she's there. Do y'all hear her, or am I tripping? Mickey Talks. Nene is she was on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like one of the I guess like the mainstay characters. Oh, Thought Crimes was in an accident. Okay, you're not there. Okay, let me just disconnect Thought Crimes, and then if you want to come back up, Thought Crimes, you could just send me a request back. If like something happened or whatever, you could just request back up. But Mally Bay, did you want to speak now?
Yes. And I'm sorry. I know we're talking about the Erica Mena situation and Mimi, and it seems like there's clearly a disconnect with people on how they perceive themselves. But I do want to go back because there are some people that wanted to talk about me thinking that I'm mixed. So just to give some background about myself, I'm actually birth to both African parents. Both my parents are from West Africa. My skin's a little lighter complexion because I'm not in the sun, but when I do get in the sun, I go back to some of my real color and whatnot. And the reason why I'm saying this is because people perceive that I'm more, light skinned when I'm more, I still feel like I'm black. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because I've noticed that every time I get away from the sun, people think that I don't have the same experiences of me growing up. But when I'm in when I have a much darker complexion, I am clearly going in that part. And then just to piggyback on what you said much earlier, I do agree that it's not up to black people to decide that, we don't need to be as, providing despite us being at the bottom of the social chain because that's how people perceive us. But I don't want to create a situation where there are people who do believe that they are black and they want to fight for us be us because they are us, and then they realize that we also shoot them away. But that being said, I completely understand exactly where you're coming from, because from a historical context and also the way that people, make certain comments, and also the way that people are raised, they will say very ignorant comments to the people who are black, and then that's where it becomes colorism. It becomes a coloristic issue, and that's something that we, you know, not only seeing mixed people do this in other races, but they really need to stem away from going from this coloristic standpoint. And with that, I do yield the rest of my time back. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Mally, you said that you're from Africa, you're West African. Are you in a relationship right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay, like what is your preference? Do you normally date black women, or are African women, or you date any race?
I'll date any race as long as they treat me better. But that being said, if I'm with a person and they put down black women, whether they're, black or not, I will not date them, because I refuse to be in a relationship that cannot love the people who. My mother is black, so if you are going to be disrespectful to black people, and knowing that, my parents are black, specifically my mom, because I know this is more rooted in, going against
Mally,
dark-skinned black
Mally,
women.
what was the race of the last woman that you were in a relationship with?
Afro-Latina.
Okay. I think that that's probably why you feel the way that you feel, because you're entertaining other races of women. And I when you say Afro Latina, I would wish that I could see a picture, but to see if we're talking about an Amara La Negra Afro Latina, or are we talking about a Evelyn Lozada, J Lo, Cardi B, type of Afro Latina.
Definitely not J-Lo.
I would really love to see a picture, because I do believe that a lot of things that you're saying are just so, I don't know, you're not saying it like an aggressive manner, a bad manner, but I do believe that they are wholeheartedly super dangerous and damaging to the black community. And I also think there's another nuance to having this conversation with you being from West Africa. This also, the dynamic that we're talking about, I don't even for black American people, I don't even think that you can even comprehend it. And I number one, I don't think you can comprehend it, but I will say that I always find it to be very strange when there are people that are, you come directly from Africa, and it seems like sometimes those people seem to have even more racial problems with racial dynamics than black people that have been over here and have been enslaved. Just like skin bleaching, how that it's way bigger
Mm-hmm.
over there when it's a whole bunch of black people. Like, you see nothing but yourselves and your dark skin, but bleaching
Mm-hmm.
is more prevalent there. It's very strange. It's a very weird dynamic. But let me go
It's
down
not
here.
strange. It's deep rooted in imperialism and racism, and I do
Yes, I
agree
mean,
with
that's
you.
what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
saying that black people here had, 400 plus years of chattel slavery, and deep seated degradation, and a whole lot of other things that were extremely intense, and they don't respond in that way. But people that were surrounded by their own people have more signs of certain types of self hatred, when I don't feel like there's a more of an excuse, about that. I feel like if I go to your country and 99% of people are dark, which is not a problem, but y'all make up the most bleaching, that is a internal problem that needs to be checked, when
Incredible.
black people here are told that they are nothing and nobody, have signs up that say no blacks and no dogs here, but yet the bleaching rate and the hatred rate is not the same. That is very, very strange to me, and I don't understand it. But it's not my culture, so maybe I'm not meant to understand it. I won't be so arrogant as to say
No,
I'm
no, no.
supposed to.
Hold on. I just want to say something. You're 100% agree, and I don't want you to feel invalidated. I think that what you said is a very good take. I think that, and it's not just black culture. You also see this also in like East Indian culture, where there's a caste system, and there are people who try to promote products that will try to bleach their skin. So it's a deep rooted issue, and not just in black culture, but in a lot of cultures, because of how white supremacy rules. But when it comes to that West African take with the bleaching of the skin, you're absolutely spot on. So I just wanted to make sure you know that.
All right, all right, all right. Let me go down here to thought crimes. Are you there now, sis? You there, thought crimes? I don't know. She might got something going on. I'm not for sure. I'll go ahead and drop her. Maybe she'll come back. Boku, did you have anything to say?
Yes, actually, I think that you brought up a good point. So I've lived on a continent. I've lived in Morocco, and it's something that I noticed about homogenous African countries. When you have homogeneity mixed with imperialism, it creates a special brand of self-hate, much different from the one that we experience. You see, what makes us as Black Americans so special, our specific brand of racism that we experience. We, unlike others in the diaspora, had to live amongst our oppressors and had to figure them out and be around them all the time. And we had to experience their oppression every single day, right? And find ways to overcome that. So we had a My Black is Beautiful, Black Power.
Okay. I got you. You know what I feel like right now? I'm trapped in. Did y'all ever see that viral clip of like Dr. Umar when he was on the Joe Budden podcast and he was talking to I think his name is the Ish or something like that, the light skinned dude that's on there, and
I
he was
think
talking
so.
to
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
and he was talking to him and he was like, he was saying all this stuff about white tea people and his reasoning. It was clear to see that his reasoning was off. And he was like, are you a snow bunny hopper? And he was like, yeah. And you could see the reason why he was thinking the way that he thought. I really do believe that that's what happens to Black men when they do date out. I don't believe that it's possible for them to maintain their clarity and date out. I believe that I do believe that it is something, I think it's on a genetic level that Black men have to make. And I believe that this goes across the diaspora, that they have to find and make some type of excuse for doing what they do. So it you can always see the rationale. That's all I'm saying. Like, if y'all get it, y'all get it. Y'all know what I'm saying. Let me go down here to Coach T. Go ahead, Coach T. If you're there, sis.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning. Yes, I can, sis.
Good morning. I'm just here slicing up my morning mango. Gotta stay healthy and stuff. But I think it's interesting to me personally. I am a Black American. I have 2 Black parents, and actually the past couple years I've been working on a family tree project and seeing how far back my family history goes in this country specifically. And like, we are Americans. There is no like Caribbean or like Islander type of culture or anything like that. And so specifically as somebody who is Black, comes from a Black family, I think that the one drop rule has caused people to lose their mind. They have absolutely lost their mind. And I really like number 2, how you differentiated between Black ancestry and Black parents. I really have never heard it framed in that way. And I think that that is part of the conversation that we have to bring into these things, is like, okay, having Black parents, you can have Black ancestry and Black parents, but you can have Black ancestry without having Black parents. You know what I mean? Like, I think drawing that clear delineation will what we're talking about when we talk about like the Black experience. And I think a lot of people get it confused, especially like a lot of biracial or mixed race people get the Black experience confused when we're talking about what the Black experience is, because they think they have the limited framing and understanding of the Black experience through white eyes and through racism and othering. That's not the fullness and the completeness of what it means to be Black and to have a Black experience in America. I don't define my Blackness by how white people treat me, or my experiences with white people, or even my experiences with colorism. Like, it's not the same thing. And I think that it causes a lot of misunderstandings, and it causes a lot of conflict on the part of the person who is like vying for their Blackness, when for some of us it's just like, I'm just black. Like I like, yeah, like blackness does not equal oppression. You know what I mean? Like I'm just black. My black mother does see things a black way. I have a black daughter and she has mixed group of friends. And when they come over, I remind them this is a black household. You know, there are certain things that as a black mother, you can and cannot do in this home. And I think that is the difference in the way that we socialize, in the way that we communicate, in the way that we interact and conduct ourselves. I think that when we have these conversations, there is a language barrier, but not in the way of like, oh, you're speaking Spanish and I'm speaking English. No, we are socialized two completely different ways. And that needs to be brought into the conversation as well too. And I think that causes a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of tension. But I would like to see more mixed race and biracial people to frame their blackness from not from oppression. You know what I mean? Not from being the cousin who is half black, not from being the darkest person in the room. You know, like make it a different experience. And I think that is why they experience on both sides. Like, well, I never felt white enough and I never felt black enough. Well, because you've made your existence as being a wretched thing, and nobody wants to be around a wretched thing. Everything is, oh, well, I struggle with being white. I struggle with being black. Okay, but what else? You know? And until we can have those types of conversations, and until we can break down those like communication barriers, like I said, I think we're going to keep continuing to have these sort of like circular conversations where people who have black ancestry but not black parents will continue to like crash out and try to blame us for not accepting them as black.
All right. I appreciate you, Coach T. It's always good to see you, sis. All right, so I'm going to go here to Burner, then Boku, and then Lanika. Go ahead, Burner Rogers.
Hey, so I appreciate you guys letting me up on the panel, and I agree with almost everything everyone said thus far. I will touch on what Coach T said. She hit it out the park. And one of the comments in the section said blackness equals oppression to them. I will say this. I don't think it's to them. I think it's to a large portion of Black Americans that blackness equals oppression. We just had a big thing over the Oak Bluffs advertisement. Why? Because that advertisement was advertising something of luxury and experience that too many Black Americans said they don't identify with, right? We saw all the lives that responded to that. So for a lot of us as well,
I don't even know what you're
oppression.
talking about, Burner Rogers. What's the Lake Bluffs thing?
Oh, the Oak Bluffs ad for Martha's Vineyard ad, Ralph Lauren ad.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. I don't even know.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's been going around on TikTok. I guess I got TikTok brain chronically online, but no, it's been going around on TikTok a lot because, that Ralph Lauren had a great ad highlighting the Black American experience at Oak Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard. And a lot of people have been responding to it saying, hey, that's not our experience with Ralph Lauren. And that's not our experience as Black people in America, being on this luxurious part of the United States and Oak Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard. So, in the context of blackness equals oppression to a lot of people, and it equals oppression to a lot of us as well, which is unfortunate. I think Coach T hit it out the park when she was talking about different experiences. And I say these conversations are very micro. This is a micro conversation when I always look at it from a macro lens. When someone tells me they are from a Spanish-speaking Caribbean nation or a Spanish-speaking country, or they're from a French-speaking nation, or English-speaking nation, I already put it in the historical context of the experience that they might have had, more or less. So their experience being Francophone, Latino, and Anglophone, right? We're Anglophones, we speak English, we're dominate or colonized by the English, right? Our experiences are different. We could be Black, white, whatever, but our experiences are different based on our colonization, because every colony or colonizer had different outputs regarding race and culture. And when you don't account for that, that's how you get you know, Erica Mena, oh, well, she's black. No, she has African ancestry, or your number two, or your number one, or your number two prompt, but she is not black. Her experience is not black. She's not black in the culture that she comes from. She's not black in the Dominican Republic. She's not black in Puerto Rico. So how she comes to America and suddenly, experiences blackness, that's the wrong answer. And that's how you get this confusion. That's how you get these kind of hiccups, because these people are not black in the cultures that they come from. They're not socialized in that manner. Then they come to the United States and they adopt a racial and cultural identity they have no frame of reference for. They don't understand the context of it. And that's the crux of the issue, is that and it's not a black American problem. It is the American hegemony problem. We export all of our culture all around the world. That's sports, that's racial politics, right? That's whatever. We export that all around the world. And there's good to that, but it's also bad to that, because now you have people that migrate, right? They're migrating into excuse me. Yeah, somebody speaking?
Y'all said you got 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you have people that migrate into a culture that they don't have any frame of reference for. They can have black skin, but they don't understand the context of what it means to be black in America. They don't understand the history. So I automatically identify people where they come from, and I just leave it at that. I don't have any expectations for them, right, to identify with our blackness in America. I have any expectations. Are you from Nigeria? Good for you. Like, I don't expect you to be Malcolm or Martin or anything.
Okay.
I just keep
that's
you
it.
there.
Your time.
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you for letting me speak.
No problem. Yeah, you guys. I'm gonna keep going. It was something I was gonna respond to what he said, but my mind just went on.
Was it the part about exporting and representation?
You know what? No, if you wanted to speak on that, you can. But it was actually about the like black people viewing like blackness as oppression. I just wanted to say sometimes that we can have these conversations about things like that, and I really do think that it also depends on your circle, because I don't say this often, but I'll say this. Number one, I was raised middle class. I wasn't raised in a hood. I was raised in the suburbs. Both my parents went to college. Their parents went to college. I didn't have that experience. I didn't have the hood life or anything like that. And so I don't look at, my life experiences like everybody. If I see black people somewhere on a boat chilling and relaxing and enjoying themselves, that means that they can't do that because they're black. I don't believe that. But I think that what it is that when people say that black people attribute blackness to oppression, just like Fanae was saying in the comments, I don't think that that's not necessarily something wrong with that, because a lot of times blackness is associated with oppression. It's not that black people want that. It's just that that's what happens. A lot of times the black, and even within, complexion, sometimes the blacker you are, the harder your experiences can be. So I think that to make it, seem almost like that's something wrong for a black person to understand that things are not necessarily, may not be in their favor. I don't know if that's not necessarily a bad thing to do. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But let me go up here to I think it's Boku, then Lanika, and then PhD Kimmy.
Okay, yeah, I'll make this quick. Just to finish up what I was saying before my call came in. I think that us as Black Americans really benefited from having a My Black is Beautiful movement. It forced us to appreciate our blackness to the point where skin bleaching, those of us in like Black Americans who do it, they're ashamed of it. So they're not going to talk too loud about it, right? And I'm bringing this up because of what we were talking about before. Like I said, I think that on one hand, homogeny is so amazing because you get to see people who look like you, and you probably have like you grew up with maybe a stronger sense of like racial identity to the point where you probably don't even associate with racial identity, right? You associate more with your ethnicity. But in doing that, also, you open the door to white imperialism to then start to come in and to make you feel like you're less than whilst you're living in a homogenous place. And you take advantage of the fact that you don't need to really look in the mirror and say, hey, my Black is beautiful. But anyway, there's to that. Now, I think that you hit on a very, very Great topic, Trigger, when you just said, yes, sometimes blackness is beautiful. And what I was saying in the comments is like, I mean, not blackness is beautiful, but blackness can be oppression. I know when I made the comment, a lot of times people, biracial people and non-black people who want to claim blackness, sometimes they'll go, oh, well, I was oppressed too. We all go through oppression. And I have to say, like, excuse me, but that's not what blackness is. Like, maybe that there is a part of oppression, because Mexicans face oppression, poor people face oppression is something that humans go through. That is a part of the human experience for the average human. That's not what blackness is. Black people do face a lot of oppression, yes, but if your only tie to blackness is that a white cop will beat you too, that doesn't make you that makes you a human. It doesn't make you black though. But yes, you are absolutely correct. I think that us as Black people, we need to be able to switch our lenses sometimes and see things from different angles, because Blackness has oppression a part of it, but it ain't oppression in totality. And that's all. Thank you.
No problem, Boku. And I definitely think that you made a great point there, because I think it was already said on this panel that, well, the world may see these biracial people as black, and they may treat them such because they know that they're not white. So that means that we should invite them in. That means that they're on the same level as us, when that's not true. There are Asian people. There are Pakistani people. There are, indigenous people that experience racism and discrimination, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are black now, does it? So, I definitely agree with you. And I think that that's like I said earlier, it's a dangerous ideology to hold, because you connect that with black people, and that's not the issue. And it never has been the issue about people treating people badly, not a wholly, because everybody gets treated badly, specifically people that aren't white, for racially, because normally the bulk of racial aggression and discrimination will be coming, or at least that idea has been brought into the world, birthed forth from white tea people, Europeans, Caucasians, whatever you want to call them, but that they're the originators of it. So let me go down here to Lanika and then PhD Kimmy. Go ahead, Lanika.
Okay, I will talk on the subject. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this whole race thing, to me, I know it's a trap. It's been a trap, and we are still trapped in it because we still talking about it. And then the same people who get mad at that lady for saying a monkey and all that stuff like
Okay,
that.
yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there. I already knew. I went to your page. You look to be like a Latino woman. I saw your brother. I think it was you and your brother. He definitely looks straight
No,
Latino.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
No, you're not. No,
Oh,
you're
yes, I
not.
am.
I
Yeah,
went to your page. You're not. You're not. You're not. You're a tether, and I'm gonna drop you, because I went to your page because I saw your picture, and I was like, I know she gonna be on some BS. I knew it. I knew it. That's exactly why I took the time to plug in my other phone, because it was dead, to charge it so that I could take my time to go to TikTok, to go to your page. And I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. You ain't light skinned. I saw what your brother looked like. You ain't just light skinned. And I knew it. And that's the reason why I don't trust y'all. That's the reason why y'all biracial people, y'all so-called Afro Latinas and all that other bush, I never want y'all to be associated with me, because y'all always got something stupid to say. What you talking about, a race thing, when they out there lynching black men, trying to go take loads to North Carolina and having sundown towns? What you talking about, this race thing, when there are literally actively black women being targeted, disrespected, unalive for their skin tone and for being black? Are you goofy and dumb? Like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And that is why you cannot include biracial people or so-called people with some type of black ancestry in it. You said your mammy. Well, how about this? I'm gonna block you. Have a great day, Lanika. Bye-bye. Find yourself a Latin TikTok. Good travels.
You know what's funny is that I have a light skinned black mom, and I know a lot of
So do I.
fair
I'm the
skinned.
darkest person in my
Me
family.
too. Me
Everybody
too.
is light skinned but me. My
Me
kids are
too.
light skinned. I'm the only dark person, which is not a problem, but I'm just saying. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I have and it's funny, I was just talking to somebody about that. Like, colorism was really never a problem in my immediate household. Like, my mom never talked down on my color or my hair texture or or compare like me and my sister's skin tones and stuff. Like, she got 5 daughters, we all different shades and stuff. But you know what's funny why this happened? And I had a lighter skinned black woman friend. So I had a friend who was like biracial, and that's why she was fair skinned. And then I had a friend who had 2 black parents and she was light skinned. And so I asked her, I'm like, well, how do you feel about my light skinned friend? How do you feel about the media propping up representations of black women as biracial, of black women who are just biracial women, and they're saying that, oh well, biracial women can represent black women because there are light-skinned black women. And I'm like, do you feel like that's erasure? And she said no. And so I didn't fight it because, like, that's not my battle. Like, I've never, people have never been confused about whether I'm black or not. So I didn't feel like I needed to take the torch up for them. But I did mention it to the lighter skinned black woman that I knew, like, y'all have to be careful about people letting biracial women identify as light skinned black women, because that's your identity. And if that's how y'all want to do it, then go for it. But I knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. As soon as they started saying, like, women like Zendaya, oh no, she just a light-skinned black woman. She is not a light-skinned black woman. She is biracial. There is nothing wrong with that. But who do not let somebody identify or take your identity that's not theirs. Like, it's okay to be biracial, and it's okay to be light skinned, and it's okay to be dark skinned, but don't let the media say that this biracial woman is just a light skinned black woman.
You know what I think is like real crazy, Coach T, is that I'm sitting here thinking about it while you're speaking, is that lady, I promise you, I saw her profile picture and I knew that she was going to say it. Yet, when you see that her automatic move was to go and dismiss everything that black people were talking about, that's exactly why I say you cannot allow them into your spaces and give them the same type of, input and that you would give somebody fully black like yourself, because they have a disconnect there. And especially if they're in the United States, there's a disconnect there, because people will try to tell you like, oh yeah, they're the same, they're treated the same, even though they're biracial, even though they're have black ancestry or whatever, they're treated the same as black people. They're not. They're not. There is a difference in treatment. There's a difference in treatment. There's a difference in the way they're perceived. There's a difference in all of that. And to act like that's not true is to be completely ignorant. And those
And
people use that drop of whatever they have to come and dismantle and get black people to shut up, because there's no way you can be a quote unquote black woman like she was pretending to be and say this race thing as if this
I
race
would
thing,
never, I
what?
would never be arguing with a black woman and say, "Oh, your mammy." Like, that just wouldn't come.
Exactly.
I just wouldn't even think to say that. But that's the point I was making about, like, black experience, black culture, black socialization, the way that we are with each other within the black experience. It's just different. White women cannot emulate that experience, especially because we know that the black father went over there to escape the black experience. He's not gonna bring it with him. He was running away from it. So you are automatically gonna default back
I'll
to
never be a nigga. First
what you
body
were
bang, I
told,
seen
or
Ricky
which
try
and
to
how
get
you
me.
were taught.
Phenomenal.
There's nothing that there is no amount of socializing or black immersion or box braids or cornrows or fried chicken or cookouts that is going to eradicate the imprint that white mother had on that child, simply because they're not even willing to acknowledge it. They're not even willing to acknowledge that, because their white family vehemently denied them the white experience. They refuse to believe that they then want to bring that into black culture. They refuse to believe or acknowledge that, hey, maybe growing up in the white culture, I did learn some things from them that taught me how to benefit from some kind of privilege or something like that, and I probably shouldn't bring that over here. They won't even acknowledge it. They won't even acknowledge that the way that their white mother or their white family taught them how to be is something, there's something inherently wrong about that, in bringing it into the Black experience is not Black. Like you can't act like that over here. We don't do that over here.
Okay. Coach T, I'm sorry, PhD Kimmy, I'll get right to you. But Mally Bay, I think he said he wanted to say something in response to what you said, because he said that no, you bring it will bridge disconnects. Go ahead, Mally Bay.
Uh, this is specifically to Coach T. I just want to let you know, every time you bring up your experiences, it will always help bridge the gap. So I don't ever want you to not be vocal. And just hearing you speak about all of your experiences and your perspectives is not only insightful, but I think it's also going to be very helpful. So I don't ever want you to ever lower your voice, because I think your voice is one of the most impactful ways. I just need you to be more vocal. So I wanted to say before I also go off, the one guy who spoke into the conversation earlier about the Ralph Lauren ad, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's gives a good explanation on why Black people are not a monolith, and it's always good to see where people's perspectives are from. I know the hosts wanted to check and verify certain people's profiles before they would hear them speak, because then it gave them a better angle to look at it. So that's something that's also very important. And hearing all of you guys speak is very, very refreshing. And I just want to say thank you all. So with that, I will yield the rest of my time.
All right. Let me go over here to PhD Kimmy. Sorry, sis, it took so long.
No problem. Hi guys.
Hey.
For me, I've been watching Erica Mena for a long time, and she is a horrible woman. And I've got like a play-by-play of how this situation has turned out the way it is, and why I think colorism is a generational curse, and also racism. So, for example, like when she first got on the show, bear in mind, Love and Hip Hop is run by a dark-skinned Black woman, Mona Scott. So a lot of times when colorist non-Black women come into Black spaces, they benefit off the work that Black women do in the community. Because let's face it, Black women are the backbone of the Black community, yet they reap the least benefits. And when these colorist Black women like Erica Mena come in a space, so in this case, she came on the show, she then is now racist towards Spice and throwing slurs at Spice. And it's just like, when we allow people like this into our space, they will disrespect you, because that's what they've been trained to do as a child. Because Erica Mena is married to Safari, a dark-skinned Black man who knows she's racist. Because if she can say that on TV, that I'm in the UK and I've watched Erica Mena call Spice a monkey, he knows what she's like and has decided to have a child with her. So here comes the primary problem, the Black man. Okay? So tell me now why he has children with her who will now identify themselves as Black, yet they have a non-Black mother who throws racial slurs at dark-skinned Black women, yet a dark-skinned Black man has decided to now put his bloodline with a racist and intermingle. And then we have the same generational curse, because I'm pretty sure Erica was raised in the same type of racist household. And now Erica's been kicked off the show only after Black outrage was used like by Black women, because we were outraged. And because it would affect their ratings, that's the only reason why Mona Scott took Erica off the show. These TV executives do not care about racism. They only care about their pockets. That's why we have another problem. The second Black man, Leniel Plummer, the CEO of Baddies, who not only hired Erica Mena to have her own dating show so she can go and disrespect not only Black men, but Black women, knowing she's racist for ratings and for clout and for money, but then also hire Natalie Nunn for Baddies, who's also made racist comments that has been photographed and videographed across the years. Like that is not new. Like Natalie Nunn is called dark skinned girls like monkeys. She is very racist. But like no one cares because money is involved. And that is the problem when black men are meant to be the protectors and the gatekeepers of the community, but they let these racist black women into our bloodlines, into our spaces, into our communities, into our TV shows, and all they do is degrade and disrespect black women. And I'm tired and sick of it. And this is why gatekeeping is needed. It's not to disrespect non-black people or like mixed race people. It's to protect black women. Because historically, this has always been the case. And this is a generational bloodline issue. So it's going to carry on. We can see it in the case of Erica Mena, where she's like that. And now she now has like mixed race children who are going to believe that they're black. And they've been raised with a racist mother. So, and also to the people that are
I'll give
saying,
you one more minute, PhD.
oh, thank you. And to the people that are saying that ancestry matters more than phenotype, phenotype is what I present as what I look like, my hair, my facial features, my skin tone. When someone first sees me, they're not gonna ask me what country are you from. They're gonna visually recognize me and place me in a category in their head because that is the way that we've been socialized. Let's be honest, people treat you more on how you look than where you're from. And I'm not saying where you're from doesn't play a part, it does, but let's be real. That is what you're judged on. Like, this world is very superficial and it's really disgusting, but that is the way that black women, especially dark-skinned women, are treated. This is why we need to gatekeep in the community, because at the end of the day, we're treated on how we look like. And if you don't look anything like me, we're not in the same community. And then even when you're accepted to the community, you propagate harm and use your proximity to whiteness to do it. So why are we gonna be the racial rehab centers for confused people who don't know how to act within black spaces? I'm so sorry. No, thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Appreciate you, Kimmy. Okay, I forgot who was next.
Wait a minute. Can I just say she ate with the racial rehab center? Cause
Yes, I
period.
know. I know she did. I told her that. I said, okay, because that was the word that I was looking for. Like when we were talking about it, that was that because she said it earlier. I think before you got here, Coach T, she typed it in the chat, and because I was trying to tell the guy that was up here because he was on some weird stuff. I was like, well, black people are not and I couldn't get the right what I was trying to say, and she put she put that in the. I was like, that is exactly what I'm trying to say. Let me see. I thought Queen, I'm gonna go to thought crimes first, only because she tried to say something a whole bunch of times and she wasn't able to. I will see if she can say it now. Thought crimes, you there? See, her thing is still on blanked out. I don't know what's going on with her. Like, I think there might be something wrong with her connection or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and drop her down and maybe she'll be able to come back. Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead, sis.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for letting me up. So, Erica Mena, I'm happy she brought up Natalie Nunn because the Natalie Nunn I Run Out LA, I remember all the comments that she used to state back in the day, how she was better because she was biracial. She said it blinked like about like dark skinned women, how they were ugly, and her little tantrums that she was running around with back in the day when we was watching that show. How she became the lead of baddies today and everybody want to act as if she didn't say these things and that is irrelevant is crazy to me. So I love that PhD brought that up. As far as Erica Mena, throw Cardi B in there as well. I live in New York. I done seen this multiple times. They're all cool and dandy with you for the popularity, for the power, for the influence. But as soon as you and them do not get along, they're going to call you everything else but the child of God. And I mean every single last racial slur that there is to be called. Honestly, majority of the time when I face microaggressions from YT people, of course, especially in corporate America. However, on a daily, like in my community, the amount of racism that I have faced from the Hispanic, the Latinas is, I can't even count on my fingers. I've been called Auntie Mama when I was 24 in a restaurant for having a red, I had like a red bandana on with like white polka dots from a Puerto Rican woman. I've had to correct Hispanic women for talking about their children's father and trying to use the N word to express their, basically their frustration, and literally try to break it down to me as I tell them I don't entertain this sort of conversation and you have no right to call that man an N word. And they'll try to say, no, it's just, he's getting on my nerves. And I don't care about that. You're still calling him a racial slur, and I'm very uncomfortable with this conversation. Literally, this just happened like last month at work in a federal building. So honestly, the racism in that community, and when they called out for help last year, I was so happy how my community responded back. They have some real issues, even within themselves, the colorism that happens within their own community that they don't want to address and act as if it's just BLK issues. It's disgusting how she carried herself. I still remember the text messages of Cardi B calling that woman's baby a BLK roach. Okay. I still remember those text messages going around. Also, something of her saying, oh, none of these BLKBs are going to stop my movement. But yet they try to force her into our community or state that she controls a BLK vote. I just don't get it. So everything that you ladies are stating is more than true. And they do need to do a lot of soul searching within that community.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you, Queen. And after you said that, it made me think of this video that I'm making. I gotta finish editing it. I was on Instagram, right? And there was a picture of like this. I think they're a pretty popular internet family. I don't know their name though. But it was a picture of them dressed up as the Incredibles. It's a black family, black father, black mother, and like I think 3 or 4 black kids. And so somebody put on the top of it the Arrestables, right? And I go in the comment section, and it's people calling them like Alaska N-word, the incredible N-words, talking about the father shouldn't be there. They said the mother is supposed to be overweight with a bonnet on, all type of crazy stuff. I mean, I lost count of how many N-words were in there. And so I took the time to click on these people profiles. Do you know half of the comments were from Hispanic people? Like there was Felipe Lopez, Wego, Martinez, and I'm going to look at their picture, and there's all these Hispanic people and Latino people, and that had me looking like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see how it is. And this like this type of like delusion that people have that like somehow like this bracket black and brown coalition that Hispanic people cannot just be as racist as Europeans or white people is actually insane to me, because some of them be super duper racist. And you said that you were proud of people and how they reacted. I am too. For me personally, I'm not talking about ICE. I'm not talking about what's going on. I didn't see so many black people try to shame other black people like, oh, you know what? Well, if you don't say anything, you're silent while things are happening to them. When it happens to you, I said, well, I'll just wait till it happens to me to say something, because I'm not saying nothing about nothing. I'm not saying nothing about nobody else, period. Because at the end of the day, y'all want black people to be y'all sacrificial lambs. Y'all want black people to risk their neck for you and do all of this stuff, when at the 9 times out of 10, right while you doing it, they still calling you the N-word, just like them goofy people that went over there to help. What was that? The people that was fighting Russia. Man, I cannot even think. If y'all know the country that
The
was
Crimeans.
no. It was another one. It was all them black people that went over there to help them fight or whatever, because like I guess Putin was trying to like take over or move in on their piece of land.
That wasn't Crimea?
No, it was another place. I cannot remember. My mind is
Ukraine.
going.
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Okay.
That's in Crimea. Because I'm not the best
No, all I
okay.
kept hearing was
Don't get
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Let
me
me
to
look it up.
lying.
Yeah, Ukraine. Okay. Yes. And then when the black people were going there to help them people, and then they started calling them black and saying they didn't want to go with them, they didn't want to help them, calling them an N-word. That's the exact type of things that I'm talking about. And that's the reason why I'm not helping nobody. Like, I seen so many black women talk about Sierra from Love Island using the C word when she was talking about her eyes with Asian people, all these black people going crazy. I think this lady, her name is Courtney J or something like that. I blocked that lady. She's so
You
stupid.
said using the C word. Can you what C
Yeah, you
word?
know about the eyes when people use it for like Asian people eyes,
Oh, the
like
CH word?
yes, the
Okay,
CH
okay.
word, and everybody was mad at Sierra, and all I saw was all these black women talking about, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, that we've got to stand up. I was like, why in the world would y'all stand up for the Asian community when the Asian people be out there in literal blackface and in Korea running around with do-rags on and braids and gold teeth? Like, are y'all stupid? Like,
And
I
Asians making
cannot
money
get it.
doing
Like,
none of
I'm
their
not
business.
fighting for none of these people, none of them. I didn't say nothing about Sierra, and I saw everybody mad because Shelly had taken a picture with Sierra, but it's so many white people and other non-black people that have said horrible things about black people, and when people flick up and kick you with them, nobody says nothing at all. So me personally, I just feel like black people, especially black American people, should not say nothing for nobody at all. Don't stand up for nobody, because at the end of the day, when you need help, where they gonna be? Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere. Like, for real. Queen,
Asian
did you have
people.
something to say? I'll give you another
Yeah, I
two
was
minutes if
saying.
you have something to say.
Oh, I was going to state that Asian people have made it very known that they're staying out of people's business, and it's not logical to jump in, especially with the Latinas or with the BLK issues. There are countless videos of Asians responding, especially when they stated, "Where's the Asians?" On TikTok, all over, and they're stating why they're not getting in other people's business. So we should definitely never get into their business. I will state this as well. I was one of those Delulu people who used to think because we're brown, all skin folk is kinfolk. I have a very dear friend, but it was just a reality that hit the older we got because she is Afro Latina. However, it was black for convenience and things that had to get called out within our relationship. A lot of the stereotypes that they don't even notice that they have digested. And it's like simple things of thinking we all just like hip hop or our family values, feeling like they always have to teach us something. Job opportunities. Yeah, we're both black until language plays a role in how to get an opportunity, and they're gonna jump on that and make sure that you know how they got the job and you didn't. Which caused a lot of strife, of course, in our relationship as a friendship, because it was like that's when I started to see the differences between, race and culture, and how, we are not the same and our experiences are completely different. Good morning, baby. So definitely, it's time for BLK people to be realistic and provide that privilege. I always say I create black privilege, because if I see my own in that line, I'm going to pick my own, because I know that's what other races are doing. And I've seen that front hand from the Asians to the Hispanics to the Indians, or Iraqians, excuse me. So yeah, that's how I see it.
Yes, and I definitely agree with you, and I do that as well. I will always put black people, but more specifically black women first, all day, every day, and I don't care who has a problem with it. Go ahead, Miss Jump, to you if you're there. If you didn't request her by mistake, 'cause sometimes people be requested by mistake. You there, Miss Jump, to you? If not, I'm gonna go up here to Boku. All right, I think she might have requested by mistake. Go ahead, Boku.
Hey y'all, y'all have been saying some really good stuff. I wanted to just add on a lot of things like you guys are saying. We do need to mind our own business. We do need to bunker down, and make for sure that we are okay first. It's just this crazy way that we're like, oh, we need to jump up and fight. It's like when black women were like, oh, we're gonna sit this out, we're just gonna rest. I was like, I would love to see if this will actually happen. I would love to see if we actually put the cape down, because that actually would be revolutionary. That could completely change a lot of shit if we remove ourselves from the bottom row of the fucking pyramid and stop holding this shit up. I know you mentioned Princella. I don't know what I want to see the video that you did on her. I used to watch her. Don't watch her anymore. But there was something that she said in the beginning that was so poignant. Black women are the ones on the bottom of the pyramid holding this shit up, and we must find a way to get from up under all these motherfuckers. It's the only way, and unfortunately, Black men fall under that category too. It's actually it. I'll let you guys keep going.
Yeah, I definitely think you made a good point, and I definitely agree with that. Yeah, the video about Princella is not nice, so just keep that in mind.
That's
It's on my
perfectly fine with
YouTube.
me.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube. If you
Oh,
guys
got you.
want to go see it, all you have to do is just click on my page, and the link to my YouTube is in the bio there. I'll say that I definitely agree with getting from underneath the bottom. Black women are at the bottom, and I do believe that the way that Black women can do that is to stop associating and taking in with the sins of Black men. I've said this all the time. Like, back when I used to debate with white people about racial issues, which I haven't done for at least 10 years. I feel like it's been 10, but maybe it's been like 5 or 6. I don't know. But it's been a long time, at least 5 years. I'll just say that at least 5 years has been since I've debated with white people about anything, talking to them about their points, perspectives, thoughts about race, anything. I don't talk to them at all. But when I used to, the first thing they would say is, y'all black people be unaliving. Y'all black people be robbing. Y'all black people be stealing. Y'all black people be carjacking. And at that time, what I would do was try to give them all these statistics and talk about how the fact that still white people commit more crime and that white men make up most cases of child abuse and, child SA, and 85% of the cases of somebody getting caught with child abuse material, it's a white man, and all of these different things. And that still white people unalive other white people. There's more unalivings by white people. I would do all of that. But then a light clicked on in my head. Why am I having these debates like I do that? Black women don't do that on any notable statistical level. All of these things apply to Black men and Black men alone. So why are Black women when you talk about being lazy, Black women are the most employed race of women. The most employed race of women are Black women, right? Black women's incarceration rates have gone down since the early 2000s. White women are incarcerated more than Black women. When you talk about home ownership, when you talk about Black women being the fastest group of entrepreneurs, we talk about Black women being the most educated group in America, any of these things that people weaponize against the collective of Black people do not apply. Do you hear me when I say this? Do not apply to Black women. So why are we debating these people and talking to these people about the Black community as if it's us when it's not us? So the more that Black women say, hey, excuse me, you're talking about Black men. You talk about Black men. You talk about Black men. The more we can get from underneath, because we share in sins that only Black men are doing. We share in things that we have nothing to do with. We are getting viewed a certain type of way when it's not us that's doing none of it. But I think that, and I believe that the world knows that as well, but they just expect Black women to be the mammies, to be the laborers and all of that, to say, oh no, we can't get away from our Black men. We've got to support our Black men. No, the heck you don't. Now, I'm not saying, if you have a Black man individually that or a dad or a brother or whatever, or a husband or a son that is not that type, then with that's different. That's an individual level. But on a collective level, you sharing in the sins of Black men is really, to me, insane. And I believe if we start doing that, we make a true separation, a true delineation from Black men to Black women, and people can look at us as two separate entities, then everybody will know what's really going on. Not saying for anybody to say, oh, Black women, you think Black women are perfect. No. But what I'm saying is that Black women ain't doing nothing more than any other race of woman is doing. And also, Black women ain't doing nothing like the Black men in the community are doing. Black men are responsible for at least 90% of all of the crimes, unalivings, trafficking, all of the horrible things that's going on, the selling of the substances, all of that. 90% plus in the Black community is Black men doing these things. So why in the world are we sharing in it because we Black? What? So if we stop doing that, we can start doing everything. That's what I feel like. That's the first step in getting from underneath. That's just my opinion, though.
Sis, can you put me on big screen real quick? I want to show you a how do you say a BLK man's baby mama. See, nasty. This is what we deal with in New York. As soon as they don't like somebody who is BLK, and I even got dragged online by an Indian woman once. Basically, they called us bald headed. They say, "Oh, I could say this because I got a BLK baby father, and my kids are half black." But as soon as they don't like a black woman, BLK woman in the community, they are everything. This one, we got her to cancel her page because we started sharing it. All these are black women on here within my town. So we started sharing this. But you see, this is this year. This is how they speak on us on a regular basis as soon as they have a problem with us. And their number one excuse is my child's father is black. My kids are half black, so I'm not racist. No, mamas, you are. You just couldn't wait for it. I'm retwisting my hair, y'all. But yeah, this is basically what we have to deal with on a daily basis inside of New York. And I was like, let me just screenshot this for the people asking why BLK people aren't helping the Latin community, because this is what we face as soon as y'all don't agree with us. And y'all can read it for yourselves, and you could put me off of the camera. We got her to take down her page. Trust and believe.
All right, sorry you guys. I wanted to say real quick that there's somebody in the comments that said, like, some of it's the state and city's fault of like black men's behavior. At least I think that's what that person is saying. Like, that's exactly the type of thing that I'm talking about. The mammying that I'm talking about, that's why black women will be on the bottom. It's not the state and city's fault for you choosing your behavior, okay? And for you choosing to do certain things. It's not. And that is the reason why black men will never elevate and change, because you give excuses to them for their behaviors. If it was black women doing this, wouldn't be no state and city problem. It would be the fact that black women are evil and nappy headed, and that's the problem. Like, what are we really talking about? Honestly, like, we got to stop doing that. Truthfully, you know what I'm saying? Who is this person right here? Let me block you. Hold on, whoever this person. Two up. Y'all just don't even respond because they blocked. But yeah, that's all I want to say. But let me go down here to Coach Q.
I cackled a little bit at Hot Cheetah Warrior because that was kind of funny. But I like the fries, so get it right. But I just wanted to bring to light, we were talking about Hispanic people acting like our Caucasian cousins. Well, that's because to be Hispanic means to speak Spanish. So if I learn how to speak Spanish, I could identify as Hispanic. That's literally all it means, is that you are somebody who speaks Spanish. And so that is just the language. When we get into what their racial makeup is, they are literally a mixed race. Specifically Puerto Ricans, they are a mix of the Spanish conquistadors, the Black Africans, and the Taino Indians that were on that island. And that's how you came up with what we call Puerto Ricans, is they're all mixed up. And even within Puerto Rican families, you can look and see, like, they'll have really dark grandparents, and then the family just gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And so it's not a surprise to me to see them acting like their conquistador cousins, because that's what they are. That's who they are. They live in a culture that is entrenched in that, and they uphold that. I was watching a video from somebody who said they went over to Puerto Rico. I think it was Puerto Rico. It was one of the Hispanic Spanish speaking islands, and they had went on a tour of like where they brought the slaves into port. And they said it wasn't like how when you go over to Africa and, like, oh, it's so sad that this happened to the slaves. They were celebrating the conquistadors. They were celebrating the fact that the conquistadors had came over and slaughtered all of the savages, and that now they got to build up this beautiful island that they live on, and they have such a rich history because of the conquistadors. Not because of the African slaves, not because of the Taino natives that were on the island already. The Caucasian people who came over and forced them to speak Spanish. They speak Spanish. Spain is a colonizer too. It's a colonizing language. And I think that They have done a really good job. Hispanic, Spanish speaking people have done a really good job of cleaning their history to the point that people forget that Spain was a colonizer. Spain was a conqueror. They call themselves conquistadors. They weren't explorers. They weren't exploring. They were colonizing people and slaying all of the native people in those places and forcing people to speak Spanish. And I think that that's the part we have to remember. These people come from colonizers, from conquerors, from conquistadors.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, Coach D, appreciate you, sis. All right, so I'm gonna go here and give everybody 3 minutes. I'm gonna go to Creeper, then some chick, and then Miss Supervillain. And good morning, Supervillain. Oh, and I didn't say hi to T either. I don't know if she's still in the comments, but hey T and hey Supervillain. Go ahead, Creeper. Let me start your time. Go ahead, sis. Let me unmute your mic.
Oh, hi.
Hey, you had something to say, or?
I was responding. I was responding to someone's claim talking about men prey on women, and I'm like, women. I know a lot of women that prey on boys
That
too.
was me.
That's all I said. I wasn't talking to you, but
Okay.
okay.
I mean, I think,
What did that have to do with the topic? I'm confused.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
was talking to someone else, and she chimed in. I don't know if she read all the comments that was said, but she told me I was saying something crazy. I was just responding to someone else.
But what does that have to do with the topic?
The topic, love.
Oh, like it didn't have nothing to do with the topic. The person was talking about something else. The person was talking about how men prey on women, and it didn't have nothing to do with the topic. I mean, with the topic.
I mean, men do prey on women more often. You do know that, right? Do you know that, or no? Like statistically, it's not a. It's a statistically men do prey on women way more often. Did you know that or no?
Historically.
Yeah, I was the one who said that, by the way, in the comments. So she's responding to me, I guess.
No, I was talking to someone else before you chimed in. But
Lord.
okay.
So both of y'all came up to join the panel to talk about not the topic?
Oh, no, not me. I didn't agree. She said that in the
Okay.
comments, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And I just moved on. And then she came up. I thought she was talking about me, responding to me. And I was like, no, I stand on that. Men do prey on women. That's just facts.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think she was on some type of pick me time, because anytime I don't even really care what context it was said in. Anytime somebody brings up men prey on women, if your automatic response as a woman is to say, "Well, women prey on men too," like you already a
Yeah.
pick me. There's something like mentally wrong with you, like honestly. So
In
that's clearly
We
obvious.
have to remember, guys, that some of these we are on the internet with the offspring of people who were addicted to substances. So
That's
let's
yeah.
keep that in mind.
that's got to be
She
it.
said,
Oh, let
yeah,
me
she
go
said in
down
the
to
comments too.
some chick.
Wait,
If
hold
she,
on, Coach. I usually say you got to remember them special ed kids grew up, okay? They now have access to cell phones, and they no longer have 2 teachers and 3 monitors. You got
Hello.
to understand that, okay?
They no longer have their resource aid with them to help them,
All right,
do stuff. So
all right, you guys.
I
Let me
mean,
some chick. Go ahead, some chick.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, like, yeah, that was weird. But like, just on the topic, definitely, I like the way I kind of look at, as it pertains to like Black Americans and Black people in America. Like the one drop rule was invented by white people, you know what I mean? To like preserve their own like racial purity and stuff like that. Like, it was a tool of white supremacy. And so, I definitely don't subscribe to the one drop rule because, like, it's really weird to say, but race is simultaneously like more complicated and simpler than that. You know what I mean? Like if we really look at it, the white because race was invented by the colonizer, and they define it literally as like phenotypic traits. And so, if you don't align with Black phenotypic traits, you know what I mean? You're not Black. I hate to say it. Like I hate to say it, but like you have African ancestry, you're not black, right? If you don't look black, you're not black, because it's really weird because it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because that's simultaneously for black people, the black community, like simplistic and also kind of harmful, because we shouldn't only be defined by our phenotypes, you know what I mean? But that literally is what race is. And it's nothing other than that, right? Because it was invented by like racist people in order to delineate from white people and hold supremacy over them. So the way I look at it, and let me like cook with this, I guess, not for lack of a better word, but like I think that we as Black Americans have to kind of, instead of focusing so much on race, we need to focus on ethnicity, right? Because as Black Americans, Black itself has become its own ethnicity. It means like, it's not just a race, it's also an ethnicity. It means in a lot of contexts, Black American, right? And I think that, I agree with, I can't remember who said it, but someone said like not all skin folk are kinfolk. And I definitely agree. I think that we need to align ourselves more with our ethnicity than our race necessarily, because, there are all kinds of ethnicities that are, Black, right? Like in a lot of Africans from Africa are Black, right? But I wouldn't say they were kinfolk, right? Because a lot of Africans align with association to whiteness and respectability politics, which undermines, like racial liberation. And so, I'm sorry?
Go ahead, some chick.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just wrap it up really quick. So I think we need to align with ethnicity, especially because when people are non-Black, they get to be their ethnicity, right? Like they don't have to be just Asian. They get to be Japanese or Korean or whatever. So I think we need to take this back for ourselves and be, not just Black, but Black Americans.
Okay.
Can
All right.
I just wanted to add trigger because I wanted to look up what the difference is, because I was like race versus ethnicity. I wonder what the difference. So I just looked it up, and real quick, it just says the concept of ethnicity contrasts with that of race in that it is concerned with group, cultural identity, or expression, whereas race focuses on physical and genetic traits. And I think that it gets a little complicated for Black people specifically, because we have a specific experience and identity because of our physical and genetic traits, if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say something, but I'll just wait so I can make sure that I get everybody a chance to speak. I'll go to Supervillain, then Jamadi, and then lift with Liz. That way everybody can speak, and then I'll say something after that. I will make sure everybody get a chance to say what they got to say. Go ahead, Supervillain, and hey, good morning.
Good morning, Trick. Good morning, panel. Those in the comments. Y'all, I came a little bit late, but first thing, housekeeping. Can we tap the screen, y'all? Let's get triggered to the likes that she deserves. We're having a great conversation. Let's show some appreciation. It's free. It's good cardio, especially for those single women. You know what I mean? Tap, tap, tap. Use them fingers. Trig, if you want to go into what you have to say, I can wait. I know
no,
that
it's
you
okay.
always
Go ahead.
okay. So first off, I want to go to the first prompt. It's a little tiny, but I think I can still see it. I know I'm in a big box. With the whole Erica Mena thing, her being willfully obtuse about using the word monkey is really disappointing. And this is why I say I'm only for I'm for all women, but I'm necessarily just for Black women, to be completely honest. She know why she used the word monkey. She wouldn't use it on an Asian person or a white tea person or a fellow Hispanic person. She did it because she know of the racist rhetoric that it involves. By the way, this goes to show you, aka to the Black men, not necessarily Black women, because we already know this. These are the women y'all having children with. And when we say they are raised in an anti-Black environment, y'all question us. Y'all talk smack. Y'all say, no, not my girl or not my children. This is a woman who is, I don't know, I'm going to say raising how many, 2, 3 other, at least half Black children. And then when a lot of this anti-blackness comes out and they say that their father wasn't involved, or even if their father was involved, a lot of black men try to deny this. But this is somebody who is raising a more than one child, by the way, with a man that she knew was black, had children with him, but can feel this way about black women. I also want to say, black women, this is why I say they are not the prize, and they ultimately end up with the same black man. I don't know if y'all remember before Love and Hip Hop, they were on a lot of other reality TV shows, and I know I'm aging myself. They were on multiple shows before this, at least 3 or 4 reality shows. And he begged this woman down the way he was so desperate and chased after this woman. Every single show, it was always, I think that was when Instagram first became a thing. This man, quote unquote, you couldn't tell anybody that he didn't love this woman. To see how it turned out. Look what happened about 10 years later. She gave in. She got the babies. I believe they were married, so I guess that counts for something. But she ultimately ended up with the same black man we all get. So I just want to throw that out there, because there's often this thing where black women aren't good enough. No, I tell black women all the time, it's not about being good enough. Our only sin is that we're black and we don't want white tea proximity. Everybody else wants white tea proximity in a world where being white is currency. Let's just be for real. And that's our sin. That's why everybody can't stand us, because somebody referred to us as being at the bottom of the totem pole or pyramid. Okay, that's only because we don't genuinely want white tea proximity. We don't. If you notice, even when we wear wigs and all this other stuff, we're not looking for assimilation. We are looking to be our own selves in our own style, and that's one of the biggest sins why they can't stand us. One of the one drop rule I wanted to say definitely was about racial purity. It was also about property values. Remember at that time, it was mostly, for the most part, I believe, black women and white teen men. I'm not going to say relationships because they weren't relationships. It was obviously great. But those were the products of the mixed people, the octoroon, quadroon, so on and so forth. And a big part of that was because they did not want, because the father was obviously white, these children who can pass to gain property and get value. So that's another big part of why the one drop rule exists. However, I still feel that, which makes it me on the fence. As long as you have a black mother, you're black. But then it goes down. I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe Trick will talk about this later on. I feel like if you have a black mother, you're black. But then when it starts going into third, fourth generations, and if your partner is white tea, then I don't know, because you could still end up, as a quadroon, octoroon. Anyway, moving past that point. The culture vultures. This is my favorite. I am someone who is, my mother is black and my father is Nigerian. I often hear non-black American black people of the diaspora talk about black Americans don't have any culture, but we do. And it's crazy because things like hip hop, streetwear, certain foods, these are things imitated by not just black people of diaspora, but all people. What are y'all copying if we do not have culture? Again, what are y'all copying if we do not have culture? Y'all copy everything that black people do, that we do, but we don't have culture. So again, I don't understand why that is being said. I do want to note, and I always say this, in a country where black people are less than 15%, this is still our homeland. The difference is a lot of y'all are coming from a country where you're the majority. But I always like to make a point. When you can't make it in a land where you're the majority, and you're the representation, but you come to a land where so much change has been made by the minority, you shouldn't be running your mouth. You should be grateful. You should take the lessons you learned and take it to your country. But no, that doesn't happen. But that's another discussion. I'm going to keep it safe, Trigger. And why would you call dark-skinned black woman a monkey? I addressed this earlier before. We all know the racial connotations. It's so crazy because monkeys are closer to white people than anybody. But I guess the black hair is what, I don't know why they assume black hair is the same as black skin, when we know most black people aren't hairy like that anyway because of our genetic makeup, because we belong in the sun. Again, white people are closer to monkeys if we're gonna be for real. And I'm a yield there. Thank you.
All right, no problem. I appreciate you, super villain. All right, I'm gonna go up here to the Jamani and then PhD Kimmy. Go ahead, Jamani.
Good morning, y'all. I
Good
hope you're having a
morning.
blessed day. So I just wanted to just clarify first. I have a two-parter, but I was the one who mentioned the cities and states, but it was to a comment about somebody saying that wherever, if Black people were so high and mighty, why come everywhere we go we make it a ghetto? And I was saying that majority of that is the state and the city when it comes to at least gentrification, displacement, not keeping the grounds good. You have like abandoned buildings and stuff where it's easy for people to make trap houses. So that was where that comment came from. Trust me, I'm not a mammy. I was not raised by a mammy. So as far as the panel goes, I wanted to address everything kind of in order. I've just been taking notes as the ladies been talking, and I agree with everything everyone has said. I do. So with the first one, the Black mom versus Black dad, I've heard men clarifying mixed women as Black because their daddy was Black. They're like, oh, if your dad's Black, then you must be Black. But how I've always seen Black and what I was taught was your mom is Black, your dad is Black. That makes you Black. So if you have a white mom and a Black dad, you're mixed. You got an Asian dad and a Black mom, you're mixed. Regardless of it, you're going to be mixed if one of your parents are only Black. That's how I've seen it. And that's how I've lived it to be so solid. And then with number 3, with the culture vulture aspect, I used to, when I was in community college, I used to hang out with a lot of Polynesians. And I've noticed, I've never been close to them. I never really understood their culture until I got to community college. And I've noticed that they would say a lot of weird comments. Like they have this term called paku, and that literally just means like burnt or like black. And they would say shit like, oh, let's get out of the sun. I don't want to become Baku. And when you're hearing it from a Polynesian perspective, you're not thinking of it as being anti-Black. But then when you know what it is outside of their culture and you're hearing them use it in different contexts, you're like, damn, bitch, I feel like you calling me Black as shit. Like, I feel like you're calling me Black or something. So it took a time to where I was like, oh yeah, I can't be dealing with this group. In that moment where I was experiencing some self-hate, and I'm gonna just be transparent with it. I was still young. I was still kind of in a situation. I live in California, by the way. So in where I was from, a lot of dudes are colorists. A lot of dudes are colorists. A lot of girls are colorists. If you're outside of like the Mexicans, the Asians, and the Polynesians, majority of the time you're going to experience a lot more racism and colorism than people in those other groups, as whereas it is in Sacramento at least. And then with number 4, the monkey comment. Honestly, I wasn't surprised that Erica Mena called her a monkey because I've also been watching her for a long time. I was a love hip hop fan. It's kind of bad to be watching, but I just like drama because I don't have my own drama in my life, and it's a guilty pleasure for me. So I've always watched her say dumb shit. I've always watched her do dumb shit. So it wasn't a shocker to me. It was just that I was surprised that Mona Scott kicked her off because Erica has said a lot of other questionable things and other people have too, and she wasn't kicking them off until you see the uproar from other Black women like, we're gonna stop watching your show. Same thing with baddies. Natalie has always said racist stuff. She has always said things, even in, I think it was one of the baddie seasons, what was her name? Amber, or some white girl has said, you're more white than me. Your mom's name is Karen or something like that. And she tried to beat the fuck out of her because of that. But it's like, why would you hate yourself? You're half white. You're half Black. That's fine. You can be mixed. You don't have to identify as Black because all you're doing is just getting rid of or erasing your other part of you too. Same thing with Drake. He's half white, half Black. He's mixed. No matter how you spin it, he's going to be mixed. So people get mad at Kendrick for saying stuff like culture vulture and colonizer. He's Canadian who says about and Surrey like he was on Degrassi. He's not within the Black culture in America. I don't know how the Black culture goes in Canada. I know it's a lot more Africans there, so I don't know how theirs is, but I know when it comes to America, you're not within Black culture. That's just how I see it. I just didn't know if there was a time limit, so I just wanted to get all that out.
Sorry, I had to mute myself. No problem.
Jamani, I just wanted to say, I didn't see all your comments. All I saw was the comment where you said it was the states and cities thing. Now that you explained it, I totally understand what you were getting at. Sometimes a lot of women will come in my lives, you know what I'm saying, and attempt to try to, anytime we talk about like separating from like the things that black men do, they'll talk about the white man and how that's the reason why black men are behaving the way that they are. So I apologize that I called you a mammy and that I didn't understand the context of what you were saying. So I just wanted to say that you have my wholehearted apologies for that, because I did not see your other comments and I just jumped to that's what I thought, because that's normally what be going on, but still it's not cool nonetheless. So
Yeah, no, I
I definitely want to
definitely
apologize.
understand that. The comments were moving too fast. So I'm like, damn, where did that person go so I can respond? And no, I get it. And like, even with that, like that actually made me think about some stuff when you said that too. Cause like, I noticed that a lot of women try to put, a lot of black women do it, and I've seen it. They don't take accountability for what the men in our community do, and they try to put it on, okay, it's racism, it's this, is that. To a certain extent, some of it has started with that, but I'm like, we need to hold our own people accountable, because I'm like, for I have 10 siblings. My mom only has me and my brother. So my dad created 5 broken homes because he has 5 baby mamas. You feel me? So it's like seeing it as that. Nobody, no government, no white man told him to go and create all these broken homes. But a part of that also is, had he gotten therapy at a young age, he probably wouldn't have these many damn kids, because again, his daddy wasn't shit. God rest my grandpa's soul, but his dad was not shit too. He did a lot of weird stuff to his kids. He did a lot of weird stuff to his baby mothers as well. So I think that was the cycle that my dad kept continuing, disrespecting women. My dad was lightweight misogynist. He was very sexist when it came to it. He was born in the 60s too. So I don't know if that upbringing, being born in the 60s, added into his misogyny and his sexism, but a lot of it came from his dad too. So I knew for sure that it's a cycle that keeps going, and we need to hold those men accountable for sure. Because I have experienced a lot of good black men, but I know a lot more ain't shit black men than I do the good ones that I know.
Yeah. All right, I got you. I wanted to say in just real quick response, and then I got to get to PhD Kimmy on what Coach T said about Kendrick Lamar, who said that Kendrick Lamar was raising his own Drake in the household. You know what? That's something that nobody talks about. People want to try to call, I guess, the lady that he's with black. She's not. And if anybody goes to look at his son, that's clearly you know the deal. You know the deal. I don't need to say it, but yeah, that's true. I think from what I've seen in my life, the most pro-blackest men, that's what their realities are. They have the children because they want to be seen as like some type of freedom fighter, but deep down inside they're just as colonized, as buck broken as the rest of these Negroes out here. But let me go down here to PhD Kimmy because I know
They
she ready
is,
to
and
run.
somebody mentioned real quick,
Yeah, because I got to
PhD.
get her.
They mentioned somebody in the chat mentioned, well, J. Cole doesn't culture vulture. Well, you know what? The whole thing is a battle about between black men, because for so long black men kept saying that they can have black children with white women. Now they just started having all of these black kids with white women. Now black men are seeing they're being erased. Their spots in the NFL and the NBA is being taken by they so-called black sons with white mothers. And so the
Yeah.
whole thing, the whole beef to me was about black men. That was something that's something that they have to handle amongst themselves, and that we don't need to be involved in, because ain't no black woman even involved at
Hey,
nowhere.
hey, how
All right,
y'all doing?
Nowhere in the
I gotta
conflict
wait
at
till I get
all.
to
Is we
PhD
even
Kimmy.
is we even involved? So yeah, I like to stay out of it, but I think that Kendrick
100%.
specifically told J. Cole to stand down, because Kendrick knew that he was gonna start talking about Drake white mother, and he didn't want J. Cole to get any of the but he didn't want him to be collateral damage, basically.
All right. Okay, so let me go over here to PhD Kimmy. Go ahead, PhD Kimmy. Sorry, I know you waited for a while. I'll give you 5 minutes. Go ahead, sis.
Oh, no, it's no problem. I just think with the last prompt, why did Erica Mena decide to call Spice a blue monkey? I feel like with that, she did that because Spice is a dark skinned woman. And like how I was saying before, people look at your physicality and how you look like and treat you because of that, they don't really ask where you're from. And what makes it really sinister is Spice is from like the Caribbeans, right? But Erica's ancestors, they colonized Spice ancestors because the Spanish, like Coach T said, like she was completely right with that. They've erased like their racist past in history because they were one of the first colonizers of Black people. Like they really created the word Black um as a even the word negro in Spanish, they refer to it and say it's a color, but it's used as a slur. And they try and gaslight us, but we know, like, we can see how racist, like, people from that lineage are. Because again, I think racism is a generational curse at the end of the day. So you can see how it repeats itself in generations. And like even Spice, she was unprotected by the other Black women on the show. Like even Bambi, and what's her other name? The blow up doll, Sierra. Oh yeah. They were all chilling with this non-Black woman who's comfortable saying racial slurs on national television. They must have known that she's racist, yet they enable this behavior. Same with the with Safari as well. And even I want to get onto Lemuel Plummer because baddies is a whole nother thing. And I know you did a video on Summer, and I think she said no one cares about Emmett Till. And this is the type of behavior that Black men will platform on the space that they are allowed to have by the YT man, the small slither of space they're allowed to have, and they use it to destroy the Black community because Baddies is full of colorists, it's full of racists, it's full of YT women on the show saying the N-word. If anyone knows who Gretchen is, the whole time she was on there, the whole cast were telling her to stop saying the N-word, and she was still allowed to stay on the show. So these Black men will always ruin the Black community by allowing the gates open for anyone to flood in and disrespect Black women. We are the least unprotected. We are the most unprotected group in society because that's why she felt like she could get away with saying that to Spice because she did. She got a bigger bag. She got her own show. She actually upgraded. Like she went from being a cast member on Love and Hip Hop to having her own show and getting a bag and having Black men line up to come and date her. Like this is, I don't even understand the way that we give profit to these colorist people. We also have to check ourselves, like, why are we subscribing to these shows? Why are we watching these shows? Why are we even giving this entertainment like even a shine to happen in our communities? Because young Black girls are seeing this and copying these behaviors. Because the girl that said, oh, no one cares about Emmett Till, she was young. And it's like the disrespect to our ancestors. I think maybe the younger generation have forgotten how close colonization, slavery was to us. Even me, I'm Nigerian. Nigeria only had independence in 1960. And when we were talking before about how like a lot of Africans are book broken, I agree. When I was watching Love Island, I was like, oh my God, these Nigerian women, we need to ban them from social media because the amount of colorism I was seeing them direct to the black, dark-skinned women in Love Island. And colorism is a massive issue in Nigeria because I think that, like we said before, darkness has been associated with poverty. It's been in the media with us ourselves, like even in Nigeria, because we do live in poverty in some areas. In some areas we don't, but I've had a pew pew held to my head as a baby. We escaped to like the UK for better healthcare because I think a lot of Africans conflate like Europe with better. So they conflate white people with better. But just because there's a better healthcare system and all of that, they don't they don't like you. They don't like you at all. So Yeah, I just think that a lot of self-hatred that Nigerians now come to these European countries or America, and they now have a reality shock of how YT people operate in society. And they're like, what the hell? Like back in Africa, we have a white savior complex, because then you have all these YT people who will come to Africa for their media tour and for their Instagram pictures to come and do community voluntary work that you could have paid an African to do. So it's such a complex thing. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. That I really agree with Coach T and everything everyone said on this panel, especially about the Spanish colonizers. And one last point about Janae and Kenny. I wish you could do a video on this on Love Island, because I know that Kenny is Hispanic and he was literally calling his girlfriend slurs for a whole year with all his other Hispanic friends in a group chat. Thanks.
All right. I appreciate you, Kimmy. Just 1 second. Let me go to Black Beauty. We'll go to Black Beauty, then Keisha, then Hibiscus Blossom, then Supervillain, and then some chick. And then after that, it'll be open panel. Go ahead, Black Beauty. I'll put your
Hey,
timer
how
up.
y'all doing today? I don't know if it's morning or afternoon, depending on where y'all are, because I'm pretty sure people are in different places. Well, it's morning for me, so how y'all doing today? I have a lot of issues with some of the things that were said. Like, I think with the Kendrick Lamar and the Drake situation. My issue is the way I look at pro-black, and I think the young lady said it, like the most people who usually are pro-black usually don't even like date who people would consider to be pro-black. Pro-black is not about being with somebody black. That's just being black. I think it comes from with doing the work and keeping things in the black community and trying to help the black community. Long as I'm doing the work, what does it matter who I date? Because that means
I now let me say this. I'm not
because I'm
pro-black.
not
I'm pro.
through. I'm not
Okay, I
through.
know, but I'm gonna interrupt you, okay? So I can already tell we might have an issue. So, but what I'm interjecting on you, which I have a right to do, I never met you a day in my life. But I will allow you to speak and I will make up for the time that I interject you on. I want to say, first of all, because I'm the one that said it, is the reason why I interjected. I'm not pro-black. I am pro-black woman, period. Now, I happen to be married to a black person, and I will say that I don't believe that you can be pro-black, not pro-black woman, but I don't believe that you can be pro-black and be married to somebody that's not black, because the blackest thing you can do is keep your family inside the black community. How in the world are you talking about putting something into the community when your family is not black? Make that make sense. So I'm gonna let you speak. I just wanted to get that clear. I'm the one that said it, and I can tell that we're not going to agree with nothing. But I just wanted to say that because I wanted to be clear that we're not going to agree with nothing. But you can go ahead. I'm going to reset your time for 3 minutes, Black Beauty. That way that you can get a chance to speak after the time that I took speaking. Go ahead. I sent you a request to unmute yourself.
It didn't turn back on. It's back on, right? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't get into debates with people about being black, because if I got black DNA in my body, I'm black. I don't understand why people love it. I don't care if you have. If I got black in me, I'm black. You're not gonna tell me I'm not something else. So that's the issue in itself. To me, people trying to tell somebody who they are when I'm collectively, if you go look at my DNA, whether I'm mixed, all black or whatever, I'm still black. Looking at my physical being is really how people place people. If you look more black, it's not even a question. Because if I came in and if I'm mixed, you're not even going to think about it if I'm darker. I'm just going to look black, as far as what people think is black. But at the end of the day, I don't understand why, if I'm putting all the work in and helping the black community, teaching history, and loving on my people and giving them opportunities and staying involved in the black community, I don't understand me loving somebody else and falling for somebody else. I could have dated all black men and then ended up with only dated one white guy. That wipes everything I have done just because I ended up with somebody different. That doesn't make any sense.
Like, but you can be black on black and does nothing for the black community. Having kids out of wedlock, constantly not taking care of your kids, constantly not educating your kids, constantly not doing nothing. But you can be pro-black because I'm dating black. That doesn't make any sense. So of course, me and you gonna always disagree, because making a family is making a family and loving on your people. At the end of the day, long as I make it a big thing for them to learn about black history in general, I am pro-black, and can't nobody tell me nothing different. I don't even have no children, but if that's how I stand, that's what I stand for, because I'm doing the work. You cannot take no work from anyone, period. I don't understand that.
Okay, so once again, I don't like it when people come up. First of all, let me just say this. I'm gonna say it one more time.
Okay.
I don't know you. You never been up here. I've never spoken to you a day in your life. I don't know where the energy is coming from, but it's an energy that I don't like. I
Okay.
didn't say that I can tell you anything. You a grown woman just like I'm a grown woman. I said my opinion. This is my life, and this is what I'm saying. If you don't agree with it, you don't have to agree with it. But just like you can say, ain't nothing you can tell me, ain't nothing you can tell me either. Ain't nothing you can tell me about if you had a white baby, a biracial baby, that baby's not black. Period. And I don't care how much work you do for the community, where you going, or this, that, and the third. You didn't see the importance of preserving the most important thing, which is your lineage and keeping it black. Not saying that you have to do that. You don't have to do that.
You
But
got
pro-black is being black all day long. And what you're saying is not somebody that's pro-black. And I'm not even pro-black. So I have no idea why we're even having this discussion. But what
yeah.
I will say is that there are a lot of black women, which is something that we don't talk about, that are extremely buck broken, just in a way that black men are. They want proximity to whiteness. They want they want to be considered. They want validation from other races of people real bad, just the way that these black men do. And to me, it's a damn shame to see black women do that. And I do believe that you, and I'm saying it while you up here to your face, I believe that you, Black Beauty, are just like that. Because why are you in your
That's
feelings?
crazy that you can say all
Don't
that.
interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. It's either simple. You can be muted or you can get dropped. I really don't care.
Can I
But
ask a
like, no.
question, Trigger?
So just 1 second. I just want to say this. Just like I said, there are black women that are extremely buck broken, that really desire white proximity, that really want to be looked at just like these non-black women and these biracial women are. They're the same women that call Cardi B a black woman, the same people that don't have a problem with what Erica Mena said. And I can tell that you don't have a problem with Erica Mena calling black women monkeys. She probably could call you a monkey and an ape too, and you would be like, oh, you know what? She didn't call me that because I'm black. She just said it because she was just mad at me. That's it. That had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you need to take the time to go look up, go research, go get some therapy, and unpack why you got going on what you got going on. But with all of that, I just wanted to say that just like you came up here with the energy, I know that people think that I don't really know what y'all think about me. Black Beauty, I never seen this lady before, but this is for anybody that come up here. I'm nice to the point that I'm not. If you think you gonna get up on my live and I ain't never seen you a day in my life, and that lady dropped on her own, and you think you gonna talk to me in a tone like you sonning me, like you talking to your daughter, like you talking to somebody on the street, like you talking to a Negro out here on the corner, you got me entirely and totally messed up. Like I said before, I do not play with people playing in my face, and I would say it to your face, in your face, if you was there in person. I don't play like that, all right? And that's all I got to say. And I definitely don't play with lost black women that want to come up here and make an excuse for non-black people to play in our face. The reason why we have so much problem with cultural appropriation to this day is black women like the lady that was just up here who want to say, oh yeah, boxer braids. Kim Kardashian got some boxer braids. I don't understand why y'all don't care that they're not being called cornrows. I don't see a problem with you know what I'm saying, white women wearing boho knotless braids and all of these other things. The reason when you do those things, that causes the erasure of the monoracial black woman. And if you don't get that, then there's something wrong with you. Either you didn't take, your African American history courses in college, or you didn't go, or your daddy or your mama didn't tell you. But all I know is that I know very well of my history. And I know that what you're saying is dangerous and wrong. And also, on a side note, don't play with me, all right? Don't play with me. And I'm still giving you grace because there's a lot more things that I could say, but I won't. because you're a black woman. So keep in mind the grace that you don't feel like black women deserve, or the preferential treatment that you don't feel like black women deserve. You're the recipient and the beneficiary of it right now. Because trust and believe, if you was anybody else besides a black woman, you wouldn't like anything else that I would further say. But I'ma stop. I'ma stop and let you live. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep pushing forward and go to Hibiscus, then Proud Black Woman, then Supervillain, and then some chick. Oh, and then I think Coach T has something to say too.
I just had wanted to ask her a question, like, why do she feel like she can't erase a mixed person's whiteness? Why is it automatically if a mixed race person has a black parent, they black, but what about the white parent? Why can't they be white too then?
You know
Why does
what,
the white
Coach
community
T?
say they white?
I can tell you why that is. It's because people automatically devalue blackness, and people automatically feel entitled to blackness and black spaces. So it's like I already subconsciously view blackness as less than. So how dare you hold that from me? You can't keep blackness from me. However, white people who I prize and view as value as whiteness as valuable, they have a right to gatekeep their beautiful purity and their white culture. I see nothing wrong with that. It comes from a buck broken ideology. And that lady was clearly buck broken. For real.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can guarantee you, if it was a light-skinned, white tea Latina up here or a white woman, she would have never had the attitude that she had with me. But she had an attitude with somebody that looked just like her. That's also buck broken. And I honestly, like I said, I don't talk about this a lot because I try to make my platform built off of or based on the uplifting of black women. But I'm telling you, it's a whole lot of black women out there that are buck broken like that. That's the reason why when the first thing of Erica Mena calling Spice a monkey, I can't tell you how many black women I got into it with. And I'm talking about, it was black women I got into it with on my panel that I
Defending
used to
it.
be cool with. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, hey man, what you doing? And they was calling me all type of names. Why you hating on Erica Mena? She didn't do defending this. Like, I'm like, so you would defend a white Latina over your own? What's wrong with you? Like, but anyway, let me just keep going. Go ahead, Hibiscus.
So I think Erica Mena has been problematic since she stepped foot on TV. She was always pit against the other black women on Love and Hip Hop. She was even pit against the biracial woman that was on Love and Hip Hop in an effort to be more quote unquote black than they were. You also saw Erica Mena over the years progressively look and appear to be like a almost a light-skinned black woman as opposed to her original Latina, look that she started with. And a lot of this I blame on Mona Scott and black men because black men encouraged this. Black men encouraged the behavior. Black men encouraged her and even her girlfriend, Sin Santana, to get on platforms like Instagram and TikTok and tell black women how much they thought they were better than us for black men. And black men co-sign it. You would be in the comments arguing, fighting for your life against black men, saying that Erica Mena is more appropriate for them and that it doesn't make them less black to think that Erica Mena is more appropriate. So I think it's a bigger problem. And it's like somebody said earlier, black men are the focus. Black men are the root of that problem because I don't see how you could continue that behavior unless somebody in the culture encourages it. I'm one of those people, you can't say the N word around me if you are not black. And when I say black, I don't mean Caribbean. I don't mean African. I mean foundational black American, where you got a couple of slave ancestors. You got a couple folks back there that was owned by some other folks. You've been through the same type of Jim Crow. You've been through the same type of black code. You've been through the same civil rights. You've been through the 80s. And you have family lineage that can attest for the things that have happened. So when I say that, there's a bigger issue here. I think that there is a lot of erasure that happens. I'm sorry, you kind of hear my daughter in the background, but there's a lot of erasure that happens. There's a lot of fetishism that happens even amongst black people to get a proximity to whiteness. And I think allowing Erica Mena to engage in that manner, in that space, is a way for them to have proximity to whiteness or to a culture that's other than, say, FBA. And it's just interesting to me. Somebody did say something about Drake and J. Cole and why didn't Kendrick Lamar go after J. Cole? Listen to J. Cole's music and you listen to Drake's music. That's the reason why. That's the reason why they're both biracial. Kendrick is he's not one to be pointing the finger at anybody with his biracial girlfriend and wife that he has at his home. But if you are talking about that beef, you have to look at the body of work for each artist. and the intent behind that body of work. Because I listen to J. Cole and I don't mind J. Cole, and I used to listen to Drake too. And then I understood the pandering that was happening between these, like, with this artist. So I think there's a bigger conversation that needs to happen as to why we allow people to engage with us in this manner in our spaces. Like why we let some man that was raised Jewish and was on TV as, a wheelchair kid and biracial and grew up in a suburban setting and didn't grow up as black, why he can come into black culture and use the N-word and drop it 15 times in a song and we all dance into it. Ask yourself why. What about that artist is different than, say, like David Banner or like what is the other? He's like a more conscious rapper, Killer Mike. So what's the differences in those artists, and when Killer Mike is actually a better
We love
lyricist?
TikTok shop. We love TikTok shop. We love the TikTok shop.
Yeah,
Say
can't say,
unalive.
yeah, can't say the
We
word
love the
K. K. Yeah.
okay, okay, but I mean Unaliver Mike. I'm sorry. So Unaliver Mike, Unaliver Mike is like a conscious rapper, right? He has a way better body of work than Drake could ever have. But Drake is celebrated. Why? Because he has a proximity to whiteness or to white teeness, right? So why are we celebrating these people and encouraging the behavior?
All right, all right, all right. Okay,
I ran there.
I appreciate you, Hibiscus. All right, so let me go
Likewise,
down
sis.
here to Proud Black Woman, and then I'll go to Miss Chrissy Baby, and then I'll go to Supervillain.
Yes, please.
Who was that?
Jamani.
Oh yeah, yes. So then I'll go to Proud Black Woman, then Miss Chrissy Baby, then Supervillain, and then you, Jamani.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, ladies.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi. Thank you for having me triggered. How y'all doing? So I came in, oh man, I came in on that mess with the last lady. I guess it was Black Beauty. And I just, y'all. So I just feel like we have to do a better job of explaining the pro-black. I'm like you, triggered. I'm not pro-black. I'm pro-black woman. So there's a difference. I do feel like people who are pro-black, the blackest thing that you can do is marry your own people. I do not believe that you can be pro-black and marry outside the race. That doesn't make sense. If you're pro-black, you are for everything black. You want a black father, you want a black husband, you want a black wife, you want black kids. That's what pro-black is. And I'm really tired of people trying to change the definition of that. Whenever I just feels like people try to change the definition to make it for their comfortability. That's what pro-black is. You and I, triggered, are the same. We are pro-black women. I'm not for the black family. I'm for black women doing the best for us. That whatever that means, wherever black women gotta go, so that we can have the best and softest life possible. That is what black women should do. So I don't know where she was coming from with that. That was freaking weird to me. But nonetheless, that's her opinion. And on the topic of Erica Mena, I'm also like you, triggered when it comes to that. Look, I'm not taking the side of any woman who is not black. I'm just not. I don't understand how we still have black women in 2025 that are still trying to make excuses for non-black women who date black men. Mind you, these women date black men. They want it. And here's my thing. These are the same black women. I want y'all to pay attention to this. These are the same black women who complain about, oh, I can't find a good black man, but you'll sit here and support all these non-black women dating black men. I'm not understanding that. Like, that's why you can't find one, sis, because you so busy supporting the women who are not black, who date black men, but then also disrespect you at the same time. Make that make some sense. Erica Mena, Cardi B, I don't know why y'all still supporting Cardi B. Like, it was so many black women supporting Cardi B when she started dating this new dude, as if he's gonna treat her any different. The new dude is no different than Upset. You understand me? Like, they both the same type of men. You're going to get the same type of black man, sis. And you're not even a black woman. But y'all still supported Cardi B when she was calling black women monkeys. So I'm not understanding that. So I just want black women to just, can we just choose ourselves and stop choosing everybody else for once? Can we all get on the same page and just choose us? Put ourselves first, not black people, not black men, not other races of women. Try putting yourself first. That is the best thing for black women at this point. It's time for us to start being selfish, y'all. I know that sound, and I know to a lot of black women, because you weren't raised that way, you think it's your job to put on your cape and save everybody else. I promise you, even God would tell us it's time for y'all to start showing everybody what time it is. And the best way you can do that is by putting yourself first as women. Put your daughters first. Show them what love is. Do that for a change. And then watch how the world starts to treat us a little bit better. And I'll land there.
All right, all right. I definitely agree with everything that you said for sure. Proud. I think that I don't really have anything to say. I just think that that's just the truth. Like black women got to start being selfish and put ourselves first. And let me go down here to Miss Chrissy baby, then Supervillain, then Jamani, and then Loving. Go ahead, Miss Chrissy baby.
Morning. I'm a little congested, so I'm sorry. Hi, Trigger. Hi, Proud Black Woman. How's the villain?
How you doing, sis?
Everybody. I just wanted to respond, and I know I don't want to dogpile that woman that came up, but I agree with Proud Black Women just said.
Nah, tear up. Tear up.
Oh my goodness, she was wild, and she really, I don't know what it was about her, but the way she talked to me, it just really made me so mad. Like
I was like, who you talking to?
I know in my spirit, it was like who is she talking to? Like normally I'm really chill, but like that, I'm not even gonna cap y'all. Anybody listening, like she really pissed me off. Like she really made me mad, man.
No, yeah, she was real spicy, and I didn't understand the swellness in her chest. It was just a lot. But I agree with Proud Black Women. I have been in the most anti-black women spaces on the planet, and I really mean that. My career is 0.01% black women, and I do work with other black men. I was in the military, and I live in Los Angeles County. I'll just put that out there because I don't care anymore. People need to talk about it. The black men out here do not like black women on like an extreme level. They'll let you be a side chick in the middle of the night type stuff, but I just see how it affects young black girls and teens because you have to really fight for your self-esteem. And I think I'm a pretty strong woman, but man, to be like the number one, like they will really make you feel like you're ugly, undesirable. And I would say the biggest proprietors, fortunately, is black men because they perpetuate the I guess stereotype or whatever. And they do make their wives and girlfriends almost assimilate into blackness out here in a weird way. Like that's why when everyone was like, oh my God, Kendrick Lamar, like I see that all the time. And it will be like there's no shade, but it'll be a Persian woman or some other that's all of a sudden out here crip walking, and they're like the black woman, and we're kind of just pushed off into the background. And if you're dark skinned, it's over. And I'm sorry, that's something nobody wants to talk about, but it's so anti-black women out here. So that's why I'm more on the side of proud black women than pro-black, because I just don't see anybody seeing it for us. And maybe I just been always in the extreme environments, but our so-called brothers be really throwing us under the bus in career environments, dating world, etc. I've seen horrible things, even where I was called racial slurs in my job, and there was actual black men in the room and didn't do anything type stuff. Like I don't see anybody having our back, and we should be the number one persons having our own backs, in my opinion. About the Erica Mena thing, I think I see that all the time. It will be somebody else that's now the face of black women. And I mean, again, I'm not a hateful person. I know I shouldn't be saying that, but I'm not a hateful person. But Erica Mena is a girl in LA that's got baby hairs and Jordans and tight jeans, and she's me, quote. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes because of black men, the level of disrespect is because they think they're in the fold of black women. That's that's all I wanted to say. I think being pro-Black women is probably the smartest way to go, because honestly, and I'm dead serious, I don't know if everyone's in all Black environments, but most groups don't really see it for Black women. So I feel like we should look out for each other. I think we should go after our own happiness, whatever that looks like, because we can't cape for people that's not doing the same thing on the other side. Nobody see it for us. So why don't we only have our own back? And that's all I wanted to say.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Miss Chrissy, baby. And I'm so sorry to hear that the Black men that you were around didn't protect you. And I'm not surprised though, but I am sorry that happened. You know, it's funny to me that there are so many Black women, right, that come on these platforms and say their experiences and say how Black men have behaved. And we're all from different walks of life, all from different areas, all from different ages, all from different generations, all from this and that, even though I think me and Chrissy Baby are around the same age, but still, and everybody has these same, you know, experiences of Black men behaving like this. It's actually crazy that we still are getting gaslit about these things in 2025. And absolutely. And I want to say something to Well real quick, is that it's not just America either. Because let people tell it, people will be like, oh, it's Black Americans' problem. Please, it's not. It's all across the diaspora. These Black men behave the same way. Whether you want to call them, you know, whatever you want to call them, it's all over. And that's scary. But let me go to, I think, Supervillain, then Jamani, and then Loving.
Triggered. So I have a lot to say. I'm gonna try to keep it condensed because the club is crowded today. The first thing I want to say is, in particular to like the Erica Mena case. I don't know if you remember doing a live a little bit way back, Trig, with that Mexican rapper who was like, "Yeah, I said the N word, so what?" And he
Yeah,
was looking
I remember
around.
Mexican OT or something.
Okay. So that's my first point. No matter what we do as Black women as a collective, it's gonna be like the results are gonna yield the same, because we're getting upset, not that we rightfully shouldn't, that Erica Mena is saying things like monkey, or that non-Black women are saying things like the N-word, but these same Black men are using that as foreplay in the bedroom. This is why these women I'm telling you, this is why these women feel comfortable doing it. Because they're doing it with the same Black men that they're sleeping with. You don't think Erica called Safari a monkey in a bedroom? You didn't think that got his rocks off? This is why they're comfortable doing it. If you notice, well, I'm going to sidebar because racist people do say it, but for the most part, women who say these things or get out of line, they're always attached to a Black man in some capacity. It's never the women that are dating non-Black men who think you look like a monkey. They may think it, but they won't say it. Let me take that back, right? Because we just never know. It's always an attachment to a Black man. So I'm not saying we shouldn't get upset. I'm just saying we need to also recognize that whatever work we put into that, there's going to be Black men who are sleeping with this woman, telling them to call them a monkey, call them the N-word. Come on, look at Shannon Sharp. And I'm going to sidebar and say, I know I say this all the time. I'm joking, but I'm also serious when I say this. I'm being facetious. But I do think that the most pro-Black thing these Black men can do is not date Black women when they do not like Black women. Because they make Black women lives miserable for being Black. I would never, ever, ever, never want a man who wants to be with a non-Black woman to marry a Black woman and have Black children. I prefer him to go to the other side, because again, he'll make that Black woman miserable and he'll mess up the mind of these Black children, which, by the way, happens all the time. It's better for him to go over there and be with a biracial and do whatever he wants to do. And that may not be pro-Black, but that's doing less harm than a lot of these pro-Black so-called men are doing, because they're making women and children lives miserable for being Black because of wanting white tea proximity. So I'm going to throw that out there. I don't know. I'm going to bring up a couple of things and then I'm going to finish. I don't know if y'all remember, and again, this is aging me. I don't do baddies, but I did watch Bad Girls back in my day. If y'all remember, Basketball Wives when they had OG on there. She was a dark skinned woman. She's very athletic. She had a lot of eye of other athletes like Ojo Cinco and stuff like that. At the time, another Hispanic woman named Evelyn was dating a black man that had interest in OG. I just want to say the way they treated her was so disgusting and disrespectful. Even to one point, they had to end the season because people were complaining. Now, that show had been on for almost 10 years, and each and every single season, the Hispanic woman, Evelyn, was disgusting. She used the N word. She was violent. She got into multiple fights. OG was on there, and she never backed down. She wasn't violent, but she let them know, y'all not going to play with me like that. Again, a Nigerian woman. And during the reunion, did you know they had the nerve to separate OG from everyone else? Erica, who been fighting every single season, terrible mouth, violent, was amongst the whole group, but they singled out OG because they thought she was going to be violent, even though she wasn't in one fight. And this is what I'm just trying to show a pattern. A lot of these shows that we support, we need to stop watching them because that shouldn't have went on as long as it did. If anybody knows what I'm talking about. Again, I'm gonna leave it to always, to me it's all men, but I'm gonna redirect a lot of it to these nignogs because these black men allow this behavior. Not only do they allow it, they encourage it. So again, we're having this fight, which we should, because we are gatekeeping, right? And protecting our womanhood as black women. But they will always sabotage us because they're in the bedroom telling these women, yeah, you can say this, you can say that. And that's what emboldens them. I had a lot more to say, but I know it's crowded. I'll spin the block, so I'm going to yield there. Thank you, Trey.
All right, all right, all right. Super villain. And yeah, I know all the stuff that you're talking about, OG. I remember it all because that's back when I used to watch Basketball Wives too. And yeah, it was trifling. I think Evelyn needs somebody to knock her block off, bro. I couldn't even be on one of them. They have charges on me because the first time, sorry, let me not even be bad on here. I'm just saying, we would have already been bumping and scrapping. Evelyn she would have been on hush mode for the rest of the season because I would have literally, yeah, she would already been quiet, like, cause I would have already had to go ahead and whop her. Let me stop. Violence is never the answer. Okay. Let me go over here to I think that was Jamani and then Loving.
I just want to start by saying this has been the first live that I have felt safe joining. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all for making this a good experience. So I'm going to kind of be all over the place, but it's really just to respond to everybody. So with Miss Chrissy first, I would say I am a Cali baby through and through. I was born in the Bay, raised in Sac, and I reside in Inland Empire now. And I have seen exactly what she's talking about. I have seen like the men go for the Filipinos. They'll go for the dust bunnies that they think are snow bunnies, but they're really dust bunnies. All they are is just a black woman in white skin. They portray black women. They do the baby hairs. They do the beautiful nails, not even long nails. They just do the beautiful nails that the black women always do from like the Y2K type of nails. They'll do things like get box sprays. They'll do things like say the N-word to their dude all the time. And they allow that to happen to when I came out here, I realized that it was lightweight segregated. I didn't realize it was going to be like that. And I was kind of culture shocked. And it's crazy for it to still be California and still be culture shocked. When I came out here, it was a lot more Africans. Sacramento don't have many Africans like that. At least I didn't know of, or they weren't proudly out and about. It was a lot more Africans, a lot more Caribbeans here, a lot more segregation. So that kind of shocked me when I came out here. And I have a best friend. I didn't meet her until we went to college out here. She's also from the Bay. She noticed the difference when she came out here. It's more stylish out here, so she was able to dress how she wanted to without being called weird, at least when we go to like the Black on the Block and the Black events that they have. However, before I got engaged, I realized that most of the Black men, if they did go for Black women, it was either ambiguous Black women or the more lighter skinned Black women. I rarely see Black men out here with darker skinned women, except for my man. So it was very different to experience. And then also with the work environment aspect, I currently work at Kaiser, and I noticed that there's this lady who seemed to not get my name right. My name is Jamani, and more times than not, I have been called Jumanji before. And that's triggering for me because as a kid, it would be used to call me like a monkey or like a jungle animal type of thing, like on some jungle fever shit. So I always felt triggered. And then recently she's been calling me that. And I'm like, oh, you could call me JJ, but she still keeps calling me Jumanji. So I'm like, I just want some advice with that. Should I just go to HR with that? Because I feel like it's very anti-Black and I feel like it's on purpose. I don't feel like it's
Go to
an
HR.
accident thing.
Go to
Go to
HR.
HR for sure. Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
Sorry, because if you get in trouble for misgendering, you should be getting in trouble for saying somebody's name wrong.
Oh,
Take care of
definitely.
Purposely.
the HR.
Definitely.
Purposely and repeatedly. Like my
Yeah,
name is Jamaica, so I get that too. Right? They're like Jamaica. It's never. I'm like Jamaica, like the country. How hard is that?
literally.
But
And make sure you teary eyed too. Don't go in there,
Yep.
black woman,
cry.
Oh, I
strong,
love
black
Black
woman.
woman
Go
tears.
in
I
there.
always do my Black woman
I'm
tears.
emotionally distraught. I am emotionally distraught. This is
From the
causing me
microaggressions.
anxiety.
Yes.
I feel unsafe. I don't
And
know how
leave
to
a
deal with
paper
this.
trail. Every time she does
Ah,
it, send her an email saying that
emails.
It's affecting my
miss
mental health.
exactly. Tell her you messed up my name again after repeated. Do it like 3 times. Have a paper trail, at least 3 different emails.
Exactly that. So I'm definitely gonna be going to HR. Thank you. So two more points. About the culture vulture. I realized that on all social media, whenever I read the comments, like it does something in me when I hear non-black people use the N-word and when I see non-black women with braids. I don't know what it is, but it's just like a something in me that really boils, like it irks my nerves. So when I see that on social media, I go to the comments immediately first because I'm like, all right, who's giving this girl a pass to do this? And majority of the time, it's other black women telling this girl, "Oh, you ate, sis. You look good. Who did your braids?" I don't know if it's the tone or maybe they're being sarcastic, but a lot of them seem like they mean it. And I'm like, you're the reason why these girls feel like, or part of the reason why they feel like they can do this. You're validating this shit. And watch when their hair fall out. And mind you, a lot of the girls on this app, they showed videos of their hair falling out. I stopped saying stuff because I'm just like, I'm not about to be arguing. I'm not about to have my blood pressure go up from trying to educate y'all. Google is free. And now Chat GPT know what's up too. So I stopped like arguing with that whole thing, but I noticed that it was mainly black women in there. And then you also got non-black women saying, oh, well, Vikings had bread. Bitch, you know Vikings ain't have no damn Bantu knots and no damn Fulani braids and no damn box braids. They did not have none of that. Most they was doing is fishtail braids. And they will sit there and use that excuse like, oh, Vikings have braids. Vikings have braids. So it's not cultural appropriation. Everybody named mama get to scream out cultural appropriation when it comes to henna, when it comes to Polynesian tats, when it comes to saris. They get to scream it out and people allow that to happen. But the moment a black woman says, hey, it makes me feel this way when you wear these braids, because for the longest, black women have been told what they can and cannot do. We have to have laws keeping people from not hiring us because of our hair, keeping people from discriminating against us for what naturally grows out of our head. So the fact that people are like excusing it, allowing it, dismissing us and validating us when we bring it up, but because they see black culture as popular culture, it's for grabbings. It's a new culture, so they see it as it's for grabbings. This culture has been in the making for over 400 years. Over 400 years, and a lot of it derived from Africa. Yes, when our ancestors came over here, but majority of it is black culture now. I don't feel culturally African. I feel culturally black, foundationally black. So I just it grinds my gears very much when I hear that. And then on to one more note, just my last note. HBCUs. I noticed that people would say, "Oh, you should have went to HBCU. You should have did this." If I would have went to HBCU, I still would be having other issues. It would have been futurism. It would have been texturism. It would have been colorism still, because again, there are still black men in these schools and they still feel the same way oftentimes and not. Even if I would have went to HBCU, I would have experienced a lot of other isms had it not been racism. And that concludes it. Sorry.
Okay. You know what I wanted to say? Sorry about that. I don't eat something. Let me keep going. And then I'll respond to what you said in a second. Who was next? Loving. Go ahead, Loving.
Hi guys. Hey, first thing I want to say is to you, Triggered, is that Triggered, your voice is so radio. I just really, really want to hear you on the radio, girl.
and have your own radio show so that we'll have someone to listen to as Black women instead of these Angela Yee type of women that do nothing except for perpetuate exactly what we're talking about here today. So I don't know if that's something you desire, but I'm definitely hoping that for you, if it is, your desire, that it's fulfilled, because girl, you sound like you're on the radio. But I want to say I'm pro Black woman, and when I say I'm pro Black woman, I don't care anything about what these Black men have going on out here. They have been such a disappointment. I'm talking about, it's just like Kanye West said, they have been a disappointment since the day they got on the damn slave ship. They have been a disappointment. I think they are living up to, how we manifest things and we live up to, if you tell your children you're smart, then they'll try to live up to that. If you tell them they're not smart, then they'll live up to that. I think that Black men are living up to that they are 3/5 of a man, ideology that was given during slavery to them, and for whatever reason they cannot let that go. When I see Black men with other groups of women, I don't feel any type of way, except for grateful, because let those women deal with the bullshit that they bring and place on to the Black women. I feel like that's one less Black woman that's going to be stressed and dealing with nothing but a bunch of fucking mess. That's one Black child that won't be abandoned and left to fend for them fucking selves, because all we see on these apps is these Black men out here giving 560,000 reasons as to why they should be able to abandon their own lineage, why they should not have to take care of their children. I'm sorry, I don't know what I said that wasn't friendly, but I'll be careful of what I say. Why they should not have to take care of their own children and things of that nature. And it's absolutely it's diabolical, and it's so disgusting to me. I wanted to say, as far as the lady who was up here earlier that came up here talking about she can be pro-Black and date outside her race, and if somebody has an ounce of Blackness in them, that they're Black. That's slave mentality. That's because they consider the Black race the dumpster. So when they go out here and they mix races, that's exactly where they put them, in the race that they consider the dumpster race, because they will never allow them to call themselves YT, Asian, Indian, anything else. Once you mix with Black, they automatically feel that they have the right to put you over into the dumpster. You're nothing to them. And the reason why Black men are so enamored by other races and things like that, I think, is rooted in slavery too. They have no love for themselves. They fetishize those the SA babies that were in the fields that the Black slave women had to keep, because they too were being SA'd, not just by men, but also by the women, because we all know YT men has fetishes with their penises. I can't say that. With their male, y'all know the thing, okay? And so they were watching them with their wives and stuff too. Wasn't any birth control back there, but they were actually slaughtering those children that the YT women were having, and they weren't coming into the world. And they were out there fetishizing the children that look like massa out there in the fields. Say they are sick. They don't even want children that look like them. The children that do look like them, they refuse to take care of them. They refuse to pour into them. They can care less what happens in the future with lineage or anything. My advice to Black women is to stop thinking like, oh, well, they don't want me. They don't want me. Trust me. Be happy that they don't want you. Stay away from them, because the only thing you can do is procreate with them and put a whole entire another generation of children through the nonsense that's happening in this world, and specifically the nonsense that's happening to Black people. Don't ever feel like you are missing out on something by not being the choice of these men that don't even choose themselves. They are literally birthed fed and raised by black women, because the black men don't even stick around to put anything into them. Okay, and the bull crap that they do stick around to put into them is pimp mentality, bros before women, nothing that's family oriented, nothing about self-preservation, nothing about lineage preservation. It's all nonsense. It's all very damaging to the black community. So consider yourself lucky when you are in these spaces and they do not want you. You can live your life and enjoy yourself. And I don't have a problem with black women going where they are happy and being taken care of. Okay. Because it's sometimes out of necessity, because they are not it for us. So you guys stay safe, stay away from these men that are 3/5 of a man. Okay. All right. And that's what I have to say for now.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, loving. Okay, so what I wanted to say real quick is, first of all, I wanted to tell Jamani thanks. I'm so glad after my misinterpretation of what you said earlier that didn't cause you to not want to be here. I'm so glad that you feel like it's a safe space for you here, because it really is. I try to prioritize black women, not even try, like black women are prioritized. They're the number one, period, over everybody. Like I remember one time I was having a live and there was a black man that said it seems like you're giving priority treatment to the black women on the panel. Yes, absolutely. Of course. What did you think, sir? Like what? But so I just wanted to say that, and by what you said, Jamani, about the black women that encourage the white tea women and the non-black women that like to culturally appropriate and wear the box braids and the boho knotless, and they want to put on this top, hey, how you doing? And they want to say that they grew up around black people and that's why they're wearing a caricature of whatever they perceive black women to be. And then there are black women that co-sign this. I think Alabama Barker is a perfect example of that, how she does these videos cosplaying as a black woman, black American woman, and then she's surrounded by a whole bunch of black women that are allowing themselves to be used as props. I think a lot of times we don't talk about this, but there are a nice little size demographic of black women that are so desperate and thirsty for love and acceptance that they are willing to try to get it by any means necessary, even from people that look down on them. And I think that not to say that a man is in charge of, your loving you or treating you or whatever, but I think that the lack of loyalty and love and respect that black men have shown as a collective, of course not all, but as a collective, that they have shown towards black women over decade after decade after decade, even starting a whole genre of music simply to degrade the women that they came from. I think that has created a deep need inside the black women, which is the reason why, I don't know if y'all saw that viral video of that black woman with the white man, and he told her that he didn't even think that black women could be attractive until he met her, and she's like, that's sweet. Now, she should have been completely disgusted by that, right? Like that should have been his termination papers right there. But she said that was sweet. And I think that that's because there are so many black women that hunger and desire for love and acceptance. They don't get it from their mothers a lot of times. Even if the father is present, they don't get it from their mothers, because a lot of black women have been brainwashed to prioritize black men and mammy black men and coddle black men, where they treat the sons and give them so much grace, and the black men grow up to be losers. But the black women end up, doing a lot of things with their lives because they had no choice and no other options. So, I think that it's a complicated thing that black women have got to do, like Proud Black Women said first, which is love themselves, put themselves first. They have to be selfish. They have to stop prioritizing or putting people on a pedestal that would not even say their name if something happened to them. And I think that the quicker that black women will realize collectively we are all we have, because, for the black men, they'll say, well, what about me? I do this, that, and the third. Collectively, what are black men doing to protect, defend black women as a collective? Where are the structures and the institutions that you have built to not only protect black women, but protect yourself, to protect your sons, to protect your daughters? Where are they? Where are they? If you compare those things to other groups and other races of people, where are they? Because if you have Black men that can turn around and put, when they get money and they get to have any type of thing, they go and spend 20,000, 50,000, 250,000 on a chain or on a necklace, but they're not pouring anything into their community. I think that really is evident and shows it all. And I'm tired of hearing that Black men are incapable. Like, oh, the white man won't let us do it. You can do something, but you're choosing to do nothing as a collective. Yeah, and I wanted to say also thanks to Loving as well. I appreciate your compliments, sis. I actually am thinking about doing a podcast like where I show my face and everything like that, because like I said, I used to do that before. I used to have my husband on sometimes as well, but then I stopped due to like the death threats and stuff. It was like when Kevin Samuels was really, I think I've told everybody this, like it was when Kevin Samuels was really popping. I used to talk about him. So after that, it was like was getting so many death threats. This is ridiculous. It was so much. My husband decided to do a couple like YouTube videos with me. They was going in on him. He didn't care, but I was just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and back away from showing my face in front of the camera at that point and let me be clear here. The majority of the unaliving threats, I'm sorry, I think I'm supposed to say unaliving threats. The majority of the unaliving threats I got a few from Black women that were like pick-me's or whatever, but the majority were Black men. And I'm talking about, they was crazy. They'll talk about finding me and graping me and unaliving me and making my husband watch and this, that, and the third. It was real crazy. I never been afraid of anything like that. I want that to be clear as well, because where I live, pew-pews are plentiful, and I have several. I even have an assault rifle. So please play if you want to, because I will light your ass up like it's Christmas Day. But sorry, I try not to cuss, but excuse my language. I'm just saying, so I'm not really afraid of anything like that, but I'm just saying, yeah. So who said that this is a pick me live? Let me block you, whoever you are. Swirl Society, baby, you gotta go. The fact that you even named yourself Swirl Society means that there's a deep-seated desire in you that you need to be validated by something that you're doing as opposed to who you are. So I just want to say that that's the biggest pick-me-ism that you can do, is centering something that you do, which is not anything that's unheard of people dating out, but that you need to make that your whole persona. Like, get a life, honestly. But let me go down here to Gage. I'm gonna go ahead
Can
and
I
give
go
you 3
before
minutes.
Gage?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach T. Go ahead, sis. I'll give you 3 minutes and then I'll get to Gage. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be long, but I agree the first with what you said about the lady with the swirl. Like, oh my gosh, like you want to make your whole identity about having a relationship with a man, but we're the pick-me's. Please touch grass, like immediately. But I wanted to comment on something somebody said in the comments a little bit ago, and it's this falsehood about, if you are mixed with Black, then the Black is the dominant genes, and so then that means that you're Black because the Black is the dominant genetically. That is genetically false. The truth is that the mother or the maternal genes are the most genetic and the most abundant and plentiful in the child. A child always has more of its mother in them genetically than it does of the father. Hence, referencing mitochondrial DNA. So your mitochondrial DNA comes strictly from your mother. It can only come from the X chromosome, and your mother always gives an X. The two parents come together, your mother always gives an X because we only have two X's. The father either gives the X or the Y. That's why they say the father determines the child's sex, because if the father gives another X, it's a girl. If the father gives a Y, then it's going to be a male child. And this is why I hate when people just say talking points and they don't know or understand the foundational science behind it. You are what your mother is. Your mother gives more to you than your father. How is a child, a mixed race child that grew in the womb of a white woman for 9 months, who has more genetics from their white mother, how is that child Black because the father is Black? Like that, it doesn't make any sense. They just be talking, and they borrowed and used these talking points from Black men mostly, because Black men want to have an excuse to date white women as a rebuff of, oh, you're erasing your Blackness. They've made up fake science to support their choices. And if you want to be with whoever you want to be with that person. Okay. But don't make up lies around it. Don't make up lies around it like you're doing something that's not happening. A child is what the mother is. The mother gives you half of your the mother contributes to your sex chromosomes, but also to your cellular DNA. Your cellular DNA is from your mother. So with that, I will say that is really the main issue that I personally have with the one drop rule, is that it's not scientifically or biologically or genetically accurate.
All right, all
So
right, all right. All right, okay. I got you, Coach T. All right, so let me go down here to Gage. Let me give you such your timer. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, me myself, I don't have a problem with any colors because historically, everybody originates from Adam and Eve, so everybody is mixed in Africa, and all life originated from Africa.
Get. You know what? Get your goof out of here. I already knew that you was about to be goofy when I seen that big goofy straw hat
I don't have
on
any
your
problems
big
with any
ashy
colors
head.
because I'm old and I'm colorblind anyway, so I can't tell no colors anyway.
You know what? Let me say this. Like, it's always a Negro like that. Like, you want to say, because I already know where he's about to go, that life started in Africa, which it did. So that's the reason why. So basically, everybody black. Well, did white tea people get the memo? Did Asian people get the memo? Like, we're all of the people that are racist against black people everywhere. Did you tell them that? Are we gonna now be able to have access to white privilege? Like, I just, it's always a black man that got to come up and say the most stupidest stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't even want to hear it because I already knew where he was going. But like I said, I already knew where he was going when he had that goofy straw hat on, like he was working in the fields picking cotton. Because that's where he want to be at, picking cotton with that straw hat on. And I just, ridiculous. I honestly, I'm sorry. I just, what I'm saying, why is it that black people are the ones that always say stupid stuff like that? You don't never hear these white tea people talking about, you know what? Yeah, you know what? We all had slave masters over here. So a lot of the black American people had that. So we probably did something to, they have some type of lineage of us in there. So let's just go ahead and give them all the white privilege that we got. And we gonna stop calling them DEI and stop doing all of this. You never hear them say that. It's only low self-esteem, buck broken black men. It's ridiculous. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna have it in open panel. Oh wait, no, sorry. Let me go to Jazz Doll, and then after that, I'm gonna open the panel up, and y'all can just speak. Go ahead, Jazz Doll.
Yeah, so I just came in and started listening. I heard Loving talking, and everything that she said was spot on. I think the issue is after everything Loving said, right? Because she went down a whole diatribe of how black are, and she was on. We ended it by calling them kings. And that's where we kind of went wrong as a people, especially as black women, calling them kings and saying, if I can't have a black man, I'll just stay single for the rest of my life. When we did that, we gave them so much power. And now they've become these narcissist, egotistical maniacs, right? So I just wanted to point out. Another thing that I like that I don't know who just talked about the mother having taken on more of the DNA of the child. Another spot on thing. But let's just say that wasn't true, right? Even though it is, I'm not going against it. That is absolutely the truth. 75% of biracials have a YT mother, right? So let's say that the black gene was dominant. If that was the case, is majority of biracials have a white mother. The YT woman is the one who is shaping and molding the mind of that child. And so that's not doing any type of service to us. And I believe it's 80% of biracials marry and procreate YT. So all we are doing is giving them numbers and diluting ours. And y'all made some really, I really don't even need to be up here because y'all were cooking, right? Because everything that I wanted to say, both ladies said it. But I will say this, I don't know who said it, but the person who said, I don't know if anybody said it, but I'll say this. The way the what's the word? The manipulation, right? When you hear them say, whatever the black man touches, it turns black. That was just a way for him to go lay down with YT women and have children with them, right?
And so it just goes to show you who they are and what they are. But where we went wrong as Black women is we still stood beside them. We still praised them. We still called them kings. We still did all of that. We accepted their biracial children as Black. And then you have biracial women like a Kiki Wyatt who sits up on TV and say, well, Black women bullied me all day. Black women bullied me on the playground. And they push that narrative because most of them have, again, YT mothers. And it just goes to show you the mindset that they have. And I believe it was CNN who said, Black people today are birthing their future oppressors, which is so true. And what they were saying was, because biracials procreate and marry YT, within 2 generations, you have a fully YT person. And then in the future, that person gets to be racist and then go, I'm not racist. I have a Black grandfather. But I know that's my time. I'll land there.
Okay, all right, I got you. Jazz. I mean, I definitely agree. I think that it's always good to use examples. I mentioned earlier, Meghan Markle. If you see Meghan Markle's children, she's a biracial woman. You see, she got with the prince or whatever. You see what her children look like. They look like straight pilgrims. Even if you look at somebody like Leangelo, what's his name? Yeah, Leangelo Ball. I don't know if y'all know who that is. He had the baby with the 2 babies with Miss Nikki Baby from Love and Hip Hop, and then cheated on her and left with the other girl that he's now leaving as well. If you look at the children that he has with Miss Nikki Baby, straight pilgrims as well. So it's just like let's be clear here, the erasure is happening. And just somebody else mentioned how Black men were complaining about the NBA draft, that there were way too many biracial men that were there. What do you expect when you are a self-hating group? That's what happens when you're self-hating. You birth those biracial men, and then those biracial men are gonna not see the value in Blackness either because they daddy didn't. And now instantly your family tree looks straight like it's snowing all day. That's your fault. You know what I'm saying? That's your fault, and that's your own self-hatred. And the same for Drake's son. Y'all are so right about Drake's son. I was so irritated when I saw people trying to call Drake's son Black. That is a Caucasian boy. What did Cat Williams say? Whose white baby is that? Like, y'all gotta stop. Man, please stop it, all right? That is a Caucasian baby. I don't care how many feed-in braids that they put on that boy. He is a white boy, period. And, you can't go and be a biracial man, have a baby with a white tea lady. What you think gonna come up out of there? You thought he was finna be Kunta Kinte? What was you thinking? Like, honestly. But anyway, let me go to get everybody to speak again, because I'm at 3 hours, y'all. I'm like at 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'm gonna go to Proud Black Woman, then Supervillain, and then let everybody else speak one more time, and then I'm gonna end it.
Hey, yeah, this has been an awesome live. I wanted to say one thing first, and then I'll say what I really want to say. I just want to say, I don't know if it was my girl Coach T that was saying how we're our mother's DNA. And my only thing with that is, for me, like, if your mama ain't Black, you ain't Black to me. Like, y'all know me, how I feel about that. Like, if you didn't come from a Black woman, especially if you're a woman, like, because the lady that just spoke, I think it was Jazz Doll, she's so pretty. She said how, she's right. Most biracial children come from Black men. So that means that their mothers are non-Black. So if it's a girl specifically, and y'all know I check biracials with non-Black moms on my platform all day, every day, and I check them to their face too. You can see yourself as Black all day long. You will be told to your face that you are biracial because you did not come from a Black woman. I do not, and I will not accept you as a Black woman. Your mother was white tea. Your mother was Hispanic. I told y'all I had a conversation with a biracial woman. 2 of them. One had a white mama. One had a Hispanic mama. Stood in my face talking about, I'm Black like you. Bitch, the hell you're not. You will never be considered that over here. You can think that. You can let your white mama tell you that. But or your Black daddy who wasn't even around. Okay. But I'm telling you that you are not a Black woman. So they get checked over here all day, every day on this app and in their face. I do not accept the fact that the theory that other races of women can just create us. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, Black women, this is why I say we have to stand tall on this and strong. when y'all sit up and let other people tell you that they can create you without you? No. So on that, I have to say, for me personally, biracials with black daddies are told that they are not. Now, if it's a man and he, to me, if he want to call himself a black man, that's fine to me because his daddy black. So, but when it comes to the women, they get checked all day, every day over here. And I make no apologies for that. So to get to what I wanted to say is, for me personally, I'm gonna say this as nicely as I can, y'all. I have never loved black men as a collective group. I never got a chance to, because I was in high school when I started seeing how horrible they treat us. I was in high school when I started seeing my first glimpses of how they put other races of women above us. Okay, so we're talking about teenage boys. We're not even talking about black men. We're talking about teenage black boys. Okay, so I never had that, oh, I love black men. Like you will never hear me say that. I will jump off the Golden Gate Bridge first before y'all ever hear me say that. It's just not gonna happen. Most black men are disturbing to me. The vast majority of black men are treasonous, and I had to look up that word many years ago, which means treason means the betrayal of your race. And black men are the most treasonous group of men on earth. They have always been treasonous. I personally believe that you can stand 20 black men, just random black men in a row. In my opinion, you can stand 20 random black men in a row. And if you are a white T man, you can offer them, hey, I'm going to give you fame. I'm going to give you a white woman with a big booty, and I'm going to give you $2 million. But all I need you to do is toss your mama over a bridge. And I guarantee you, out of 20 black men, I guarantee you 19 of them will do it. That's honestly what I believe. They are treasonous. It's the reason why I would never birth one. And that's my personal decision. I ain't bringing this shit into society. I've seen enough. And I think because I have never been loyal to them in that way, I think that's the reason why I haven't gone through a lot of things that black women go through when it comes to black men. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all and say I've never been hurt by a black man. I've been hurt by black men, but it was more on an emotional side. It was more on a, they didn't want a relationship type thing. It was never abusive. I've never dated a man that tore down my self-esteem. I ain't even like, dudes can already look at me and know that I'm not a woman that you're gonna be able to tear down. Like, I love myself too much. I've always loved being a black woman. And when Miss Chrissy baby was speaking, I literally wanted to cry because I could not believe, no, I believe her, but I'm just saying it is sad to me that so many black men go out of their way to purposely tear down the self-esteem of black women. And because I've always known that about black men starting in high school, that is why they have never been able to do that with me. I have always stood 10 toes down in a black man's face, telling him I love who I am. I don't care about how you feel about you. Okay. I don't care about the hatred that you have for your mother who birthed you. Okay. But I love me. And I feel like if more black women continue to stand their ground and stand up for themselves when it comes to black men, a lot of this will stop. They're waiting. They want to shrink you. They want to tear down your self-esteem, and understand that that's a deflection. That ain't nothing but gaslighting, because that's how they feel about themselves. So I feel like that's why it's so important for black women to stand up for yourself. Stop. This is another thing that I think Jazz Doll said was where we messed up at is we continue to, she didn't say this, but I'm gonna say this. We continue to birth them. That's the number one for me. But where black women messed up is they continue to call sorry ass men kings. They continue to ignore the fact that black men were putting white women on a pedestal, even back during the 60s when Martin Luther King and all them was fighting for us. Black men were still they had interracial gatherings, and there were black men in photos with they half white kids, and the children hair wasn't even combed because the white tea woman didn't even know how to do their hair. And black women continued to support these dudes. So we have to take accountability for what we have continued to reinforce. We have given privileges to a group of men who continue to slash us, to continue to disrespect us. We have reinforced their behavior by continuing to love them anyway. We have failed in that sense. And I think because I don't know about y'all, and I will land in a minute, but I don't know about y'all. I've actually laid up in my bed, y'all, and I thought about what those black women were thinking about back then. I think that they thought that by standing by black men, no matter what black men did, that somehow the black man would just love them anyway. What we have learned, and we in 2025, I'm talking about the 60s, y'all. What we have learned now is that has made them worse. It's made them worse, y'all. So now you got your proof. Now we got the proof that loving black men, no matter how badly they treat us, is not going to work, black women. It's time for you to start standing up and walking away. It's time for y'all to start putting your foot down. And the best thing we can do to help black men is walk away from them. That's the best thing black women can do for black men. Stop giving them our energy, our resources, our love, our support. It needs to stop. And this goes for some of y'all sorry ass sons, man. And I say that respectfully. We got 96 people in this live. One of y'all, at least one or two of y'all got a sorry son that keep going in and out of jail. The reason why he keep going in and out of jail, sis, is because he know you keep taking him back every time he get out. Leave that nigga in there. Leave him in there, sis. That's how he'll learn. And I will land there. Thank you,
All
Trigger.
right. Okay, no problem, no problem. Proud black woman, I appreciate you as always. I did want to say real quick though, I like I said, I agree with everything that y'all saying. I don't know if I disagree with anything that anyone said, but I just wanted to say, because you know it's my live and I want people to know where I stand. Me personally though, I'm just letting y'all know, even I understand what y'all saying about the mitochondrial DNA and all of that, and the black woman, and I do know that the mother, you know, is in charge of like the psyche of the child for the most part. But in my opinion, if you telling me that you are a black woman and I go and I see your parents and they're both not black, I don't regard you as black at all. You need to have a black mama and a black daddy, or a black daddy and a black mama. That's just how I feel. Like I don't give any grace to black women that have somebody else either. Like period. Regardless of the fact, whatever it is, like if I look and both of your parents not blackity black, then your child is not black. They're biracial. Like we can't ignore the whole contribution of that white T person, because the same thing happens if, like I said, with Meghan Markle, right? Meghan Markle has a black mama, right? And a white daddy. She married a white man, right? And what do her children look like? Pilgrims. So it has no difference whether the mother is black or not, or biracial or not. The same outcome is the same. So I just wanted to say that. That's just me, but I'm not trying to speak for no one else. And I understand that we are not monolithic and we may not all agree on everything. Well, you know, every like nuance of everything. But I'm just saying that's just where I stand on it. If you say, hey, where my parents at? Oh, those my parents, and I see one of them is a white tea or something else, I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. That's a biracial person. You know, that's what I have to say. But I'm gonna make sure that I go to everybody so they can speak again. I'll just start with Jazz because she unmuted herself. Did you have something to say? I'll
That's
start with
good.
you.
Okay,
Okay.
so I unmuted because I wanted I actually agree with what you just said. Like I feel the same way. If both parents aren't black, then the child is not black. However, I do give grace to a biracial who has a black mother,
Me
because her
too. Me
mind
too.
her
Me
mind is
too.
molded. Yeah, her mind is molded by a black woman. So, and typically when you see biracials who have black mothers, they're more well grounded. They know, they have a sense of
I agree.
identity. They know who
I
they
agree.
are, and that's why they're more, I can lean towards them than anybody else.
Yeah, I agree with you.
um Another thing, I disagree with proud black woman on one thing that you said. I feel like you were wrong. You said you can line up 20 black men and give them a big booty white woman and $2 million. Baby, you aimed a little bit way too high. You can give them an overweight fat white woman and $20 and they'll sell their mama out. Let's be very clear. Because it doesn't matter how the YT woman looks, long as she has YT skin, that's the only thing that matters to them, right? So let's be honest. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna land because I know Super wanted to go. The reason why we give away that blackness like that, we'll let any biracial be black, is black people value blackness. That's why we have no issues giving it away. If we coveted it, if we cherished it, it will be exclusive, how basically how the YT people are with their race. You can't just get in. This should be a club that you just can't get in. But because we don't value our blackness, we'll give it away to any and everybody. I literally just found out earlier this week that Mariah Carey has a YT mama and a biracial father, and we've been calling this woman black this whole time. I had no idea her father was a biracial. And I'm sitting up here like, wait a minute. So she's put in the category as black. No matter how many times Cardi B says that she's not black, we're forcing blackness on her. So that's because we as black people don't cherish our blackness. And what's hurtful is that when I'm in the comments saying that a Cardi B and a Mariah Carey is not black, I'm being windmilled by other black women. That's the most hurtful part about it. And the reason I feel like black women do that is because black women have been bullied so much into, oh, you're jealous of the biracial woman, or you're jealous of the YT woman. So black women some of them try to go out their way to prove that they're not jealous by just being so accepting. And that is a problem. That is a major problem. I even said that vice president, okay, that's not a sister. I'm not against her. I voted for her. I support her 100%. However, she is not a sister. And until we have never had a black president in this country. I land right there.
All right, Jazz. Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said. I just wanted to say, like, what you said about the biracials with the black mothers and giving them leeway. I do too. I'm not gonna say that I don't, because I do. Because when they say that they got a black mama, it's like something in my spirit settles a little bit. So I get what you're saying. I still view them as biracial, but I definitely do give them way more leniency. So, and I do understand exactly where you were coming from with that, for sure, for sure. And I also agree with what you're saying about the Mariah Carey and the whole windmilling thing. When you say that these people are not black, and how black women will come at you. I know I said, like, during the election, that I was very disturbed at the fact that people kept calling Kamala black. She's a black woman. She's a black woman. She's a black woman. When if I'm not mistaken, her father is like biracial and her mother is Indian. If that's correct. But I know that I saw his picture, and I know that if he's not biracial, that it doesn't matter. She's still a biracial woman. And I was just like, y'all talking to this lady about silk presses and that, and this lady talking about she clean greens in the bathtub. What black person you know clean greens in the tub? And if they clean their greens in the tub, I promise you don't need to eat them at all. And I was very upset. Like, I was like, okay, y'all, I know that she's the better option in voting, even though I have my problems with her too, because I believe that she is a cultural appropriator, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I was flabbergasted at how many black women wanted to jump on the bandwagon of calling this lady black. I'm thinking to myself, like, so you mean to tell me you think that black women can be made by Indian ladies? Are you crazy? Like, I just was disgusted by that. But it's some black women that told me, I'm unfollowing you. You an enemy to black women. You don't really like us. And I'm like, what? Like, and what, like, I totally understand. And they always have that caveat to me. Well, what about Obama? Do you think Obama's a black man? And I'd be like, no, I don't. I don't believe that a black man comes out of a white vagina. So absolutely I don't. No. So what are y'all talking about? But yeah, I definitely agree. Like, a lot of times people that will argue you down about things like this are black women. I know the main people that I've been attacked by saying that Cardi B not black have been black women. And I'm talking about then call me all type of names. I done had one woman call me a goofy because I said that Cardi B wasn't black. I said, so you mean to tell me you cussing me out? Because I said that a woman that is not black, who says she isn't black, who you can easily go to YouTube and hear her say that she wasn't black, isn't black? Like, what? I mean, so yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. Like, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Like, I think that black women are so starved, like I said earlier, are so starved of love and validation that they are willing to seek out validation, even if it is vicariously living through someone else. So if they can vicariously live through the Danny Lays, which I was so upset that people even gave that girl, because that girl is once again not black, letting her say the N-word on records, letting her antagonize the baby's dark-skinned baby mama who will look way better than her, and all of these other things. I was like, oh, okay, black women feel comfortable in living vicariously through other women. So if they see them being a preference and they are considered black, they can say, well, these men, they possibly consider me too. It's the same self-hatred that you see with women that support Chris Brown.
women that talk about how sexy Chris Brown is, how he's they crush this, that, and the third. And I turn and I click on their profile pictures, and those women are fully black. I'm thinking to myself, like, baby girl, he do not like you. He got a song where he say he only want to talk to the bees with good hair. Do you think that when he's talking about 4C hair or type 4 hair, you think he's talking about that? Or are you looking at the Blasian women that he's choosing, the non-black women that he's choosing to birth his children with? Huh? Like, it's crazy to me. I just seen this man leaving a club on the Shade Room or something like that in my feed, and he with another woman that is clearly Blasian or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, but yet y'all putting this man on the pedestal. Y'all want to call these women black, even though the reason why he's attracted to these women is because they're not black. So you're not part of it. You never will be part of it. And you letting these non-black women tap dance on you, appropriate you over there, doing their hair and putting baby hairs and plaster them all on their foreheads and putting boho knotless braids on them. I don't care what you do to these girls. They are not black. They never will be. And you never will be looked at like them, period. But I will say it's disgraceful to see black women do that. But let me go down here too, so I can get everybody to speak before I end it. Go ahead, Supervillain. I'll go to Supervillain, Loving, then Jamani, and I'll let Miss Chrissy Baby finish it out. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Y'all have been awesome, y'all. Just real quick, can we tap up the screen? Let's get her to the likes that she deserves. I want to piggyback on something Jasdol said earlier, but it's I don't know, black men with this real hair thing, that shit got them in a chokehold. Like the person, the young woman, the girl could be fake everywhere else, but that hair got to be real. Like fake breast, fake booty, fake nose, fake. Everything fake, but as long as the hair is real, they are fine. Which is weird to me because hair on black women is the most interchangeable thing. Like we can actually take it on and put it on. I don't understand why has them in such a chokehold, but we know why, because they don't like nappy hair, just like they don't like dark skin. But that's another story for another day. I think something so important, Jess, though, I don't know if you noticed, when you brought up, what's her name? The singer, the mixed singer, that you said earlier, she has a white mama and she was talking about how she got bullied. What's her name?
Kiki
Kiki
Wyatt.
White. Okay. This is something, and this is to cause no division. First of all, there's a big difference between a mixed person and a light skinned person. Definitely understand that. But that trope about the dark skinned girls bullied me, which I'm not going to say isn't true, right? That may have been a lot of light skinned or mixed women's experience, but they always leave out the part where they participated in the teasing of the dark skinned girl. It was not only the dark skinned boy or the other boys teasing the dark skinned girls. I remember being younger. I'm brown skinned. I didn't get teased for being dark, but I remember the light skinned or the lighter girls making fun of the dark skinned girls just like the black boys were doing. And that part is always left out. I just want to bring that up. And it's not to cause division, but it's always like the black girl started bullying them out of nowhere. No, you also participated in the bullying, but you'll never admit that part. I don't know why they don't ever admit that part, but I just find it very annoying. Again, it's not to cause divisiveness, but it's to have accountability. The black girl did not start picking on you for no reason. You were also participating in the bullying of the dark skinned little girl. So let's start being honest about that. Kim, I had something else to say, but I can't remember. Oh, I'm gonna go back to this. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna bring this up every chance I get, because this is a phenomenon that I feel really needs to be studied. And I believe that this man should be a pariah. He should be considered a treasonous in the black community, and that's Shannon Sharp. Again, Shannon Sharp went on public TV and told people all over the world that his daughter can't get nothing but $30,000 and a catfish plate and spaghetti for her wedding. Y'all do know black men love to talk about being married, and y'all know that the father of the bride is supposed to pay for the wedding. He went on public and told that his blood daughter, his fully black daughter, won't get more than $30,000 and a catfish plate with spaghetti, and ended up giving a young white tea woman $23 million without a child support settlement and outside of alimony. If that is not the biggest, like, y'all don't understand how that shit bothers me every day. It's none of my business, but I keep asking y'all, when's the last time you saw a black man give a black woman $23 million? When's the last time you seen a black man give a black woman, any money outside of alimony or child support? And that white girl got that money without having to have a baby with him, without having to suffer through marriage with him. $23 million, and he wouldn't give his daughter $50,000 for a wedding. Y'all, if this man is not a pariah in the black community, I'm done with y'all. He should be a laughing stock every freaking where he goes. And I'm sorry, I just had to get that off my chest because I think about that daily, and I just think about what his daughter could be thinking right now. And then they got the nerve to understand why we have self-esteem issues. Yeah, I just want to tell y'all, I'm gonna end it with saying the most important thing is that I love black women. I love each and every one of y'all. I love the elitist black woman. I love the ghetto black woman. I love the short one, the tall one, the skinny one, the BBW one. I love black women. Every single instance of something good attached to my life has to do with a black woman. And I feel bad for those who don't have that experience. When you have good black women in your life, it is lit. That's why I can never understand the vitriol against black women. Like, I feel a lot of y'all do not actually have black women in your lives. To have so much vitriol against black women. I'm gonna wrap it up. I see my timer, Trig. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just say this. There's no way y'all can have real black women in your life and have vitriol against black women. I'm not about to sit here and say black women are perfect, because we are just like any other human being, right? We can get on people's nerve. But anything good, the smartest person I know, the best person I know, the givingest person I know, the most dependable person I know is a black woman, and they are all different black women. So when I say I love black women, if you feel love in your heart, black woman, that is me reaching out and giving you a hug. I will always love black women. There's nothing wrong with us. We committed no sin but being black and not wanting white tea proximity. At the end of the day, they hate us because we do not want white tea proximity, and they can't stand it. I'm a yield there. Thank you, Drake.
All right, all right, all right. Super villain. And I definitely agree with you. I'll say this, like I used to do hair for many years, and I lost the passion for doing it, but I exclusively did black women's hair. And I met thousands and thousands and thousands of black women, and I will say that is absolutely true. Like, people say a lot of things about black women, but black women really are the best, truthfully. And most black women are really nice. Most black women are really welcoming. Most black women, if they really like you and rock with you, they'll support you, they'll uplift you, they'll speak life into you. And that is really the truth. And I can say that because I dealt with so many black women. It's not like I didn't have a time or two with black women that got on my nerves or whatever. But the majority, I would say 95% of my interactions were definitely positive. So I definitely agree with everything the supervillain said. All right, let me go here. What did I say? I think I gotta go to Loving, and then no, Jamani. Yeah, Loving, then Jamani, and then I think Miss Chrissy baby to close it out, if I'm not mistaken. Loving, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, so first, thank you for having me. I know you're going to end shortly, but I just wanted to add about when they were talking about the hair thing, as far as black men saying, always using it against you, or they want somebody with natural hair. When I tell you guys, the things that they say out their mouth, don't even take it with a grain of salt. Just don't take it at all. It is nothing but a crock of bull crap. You understand? What they mean when they say they want someone with natural hair is that they want someone that doesn't have black hair. Okay, hair like black people have. That's what they mean when they say that, because they idolize. They wouldn't say that about Rihanna, who does not wear her natural hair all the time. They wouldn't say that about Beyonce. They still look at these women. They still go on the internet, look at pornographic material with women that aren't wearing their natural hair and things like that. So don't ever let what they say they're attracted to influence how you how you dress yourself up or how you take care of yourself, because what they say is a bunch of bull crap. It's a bunch of bull crap. I wanted to say this, which we haven't talked about today, and that is the whole thing that they have where they want to know what you bring to the table. If a man ever even brings that conversation up, and usually it's only black men that bring up stupid stuff like that, walk away if that's even a conversation he wants to have, because what that means is that he has no aspirations to ever be in a position to fully take care of his family. He has no real goals. You millionaires, and trust me, you guys, I work with men who have money. Okay, their wives don't have fake butts, their wives don't have flat stomachs, their wives don't have extensions, and they're all different races. Their wives look just like common women, married wives. It's an array of them. So there is no type. You don't have to try and fit into a box in order to get with these men. Another thing that I wanted to say that wasn't covered is, and maybe one day you can talk about this, but I'm a mother of 2 black children, and both my children are married. My son is married to a black woman. My daughter is married to a black man. But when people learn that my son was taught that he would be disinherited from our family if he were to step outside of the black race, if he would have gone out and got biracial grandchildren, they would not have been welcomed into my family. I don't care who likes it, who doesn't like it. If people have told me, but they have your blood, they also have Mima's blood. Let Mima leave them something in the will, because they won't get anything from my black grandchildren. What I work hard for will continue to go to benefit my black grandchildren in the future. They will have land to live on. They will own the apartment complex that my husband and I own. You will not lose it in a divorce to Sarah. Okay. Now, if you lose it to Akeisha, I'm just going to say that because that people like to say that's a black name. I'm okay with that. But I am not okay with you losing it to Holly. It won't be lost there. It will be gate kept. It will be black for as long as it possibly can. And another thing, so teach, if you do have a black son, which I'm advising black women, if you cannot find the perfect upstanding black man, to cease dealing with them at all and lock it down. Don't keep putting these people out here in the world, okay? But the last thing I wanted to say is about little girls, about black little girls. Because I don't do it, but I see a lot of black women, when these little children, because it starts when they're kids, with these biracial kids, they come in here and they say, oh, but we've been teased and all this kind of stuff. It's nothing but lies. They haven't been teased. They haven't been taunted. None of those things. They just want to come into our spaces and be praised and be idolized. And when that doesn't happen, they somehow feel as if we're being villains towards them. And that's not the case. They're not entitled to that. They're not entitled to be treated any differently or better than your children that look like you. Another thing is when they get on this internet and they're selling hair care products that aren't even required to maintain their hair. Black women, we need you to stop flocking to those and flock to the black women that are selling hair care products that with children whose hair look like your children's hair, because you're buying all this slime from these biracial children that they're marketing, and it's not even for your children's hair. You know what I'm saying? And then people wonder why it's not working. That's self-hatred too. Their children, we don't have to uplift their children. Let them uplift their children. Let Mima and Papa, because when they go to the bonfires, you guys, their cousins be calling them the N-word. Mima and Papa have special N-word nicknames for them and all that type of stuff. They won't receive that terrible treatment at our house because they're not welcomed at our house. They won't be in my house. That's what I like to tell them. So I won't mistreat them. They're just not welcomed. But you guys, hey, stay black. Okay, stay black. And I mean that for when you're reincarnated, you come back black. Okay. And I love all of you women. And that's it.
All right, all right. I appreciate you loving. I appreciate you loving. And I just want y'all to know this is such a great conversation all of you ladies are having. And I'm so sorry that I can't continue it because it's so good. I would have just kept on letting you guys go. But I'm taking my oldest daughter, to the movies today. We having like a mother-daughter outing. So now it's getting to close where, I got to get ready and stuff like that. Or I will continue this live. I just want y'all to know that because I appreciate everything that y'all was saying. And I love the conversation that we were having. women. But let me go up here to Jamani and then Miss Chrissy, baby.
Has been such a very intriguing, insightful conversation, like definitely mind tantalizing. Like this is the best conversation I've ever had on TikTok. So I just want to tell y'all that. Such amazing, educated, beautiful women. So I appreciate every last one of y'all. And for the haters in the comments, you know, fuck y'all. And so I just want to bring it back to the comment about the being bullied. I noticed that for every woman who has said, oh, they were bullied by dark-skinned women, there was also 3 women saying that all their bullies were dark-skinned men and light-skinned women. So I found that funny because my bullies in growing up in school, and I'm 29, so I'm still young, but like I went to school in early 2000s and I graduated in 2014. My bullies were all light-skinned women. I know my brother's bullies were all light-skinned dudes because he was like a black kid that liked, you know, Naruto and Pokemon and shit. So all of our bullies were light-skinned people. They were never dark-skinned people. And if they were, it was mainly my bullies were dark-skinned men. So I found that interesting that people would use that as an argument. But it's like, you know, you don't want to victim blame and be like, well, what did you do for that to happen? But in your mind, you're looking like, yeah, what did you do for that to happen? Did you already have issues with these people to begin with and they turned around and bullied your ass back? Or like what was going on? So I thought that was interesting. And then also with the black mom versus white mom, I remember there was a trend that was on TikTok and people were commenting or bringing up their videos to another video. They responded to another video, and you would notice the difference between the mixed kids with white moms versus the mixed kids with black moms. And this is just kids that are mixed with black and something else. You notice that the kids with the black moms had more, they knew who they were. They knew more about black history, which most kids that are mixed with black don't. They knew a lot more about black history. And I also noticed that when you ask most black women versus black men why they went out of their race, most black women do not throw black men under the bus and be like, oh, I went to a white man or Asian man because a black man this and that. But I've heard a lot of black men say, oh, I went to out of my race because black women are angry, black women are loud, and blah blah blah. So I'm like, it's very interesting that black women go out of their race for love versus black men go out of their race for either self-hate, proximity to whiteness, or to have kids with mixed hair and lighter skin, knowing most of the time they may even come out caramel, like not white how the moms will want. So I bring that up to say my little brother is having a baby by a white woman, and I don't agree with it. I was very disappointed because I'm like, one, our dad already created all these broken homes. You're a part of one of the broken homes. For you to, one, have a baby out of wedlock, I just did not agree with. I feel like he should have got married first. But 2, he's young. So I feel like he shouldn't have even gotten to this relationship due to the fact how the relationship happened. He was coerced into the relationship. And then because my siblings kind of grew up with a lot of trauma with their mom, kind of abandoning them for like drugs and selling their body. Because of that trauma, they kind of feel a need to be loved by other people outside of their mom and dad. And since our dad has passed away, they don't really have nobody to give them that love except for their siblings. So outside of that, we're not their parents and they don't see us at that. So they're looking for this love in other aspects, and they're going to women at this point out, but they're always going outside of black women. And that's where I'm just like kind of annoyed. Like I don't know. I don't want to say it's the kid's fault and be like, oh, I'm going to treat the kid a certain way because, you know, they're this and that. My dad would not agree with it, though. I know if my dad was still living, he would not be on the side of like, oh, you know, I want you to be with a white woman. He always told us, if you bring home a white woman or a white man, you will not be in my will, pretty much. And I've abide by that. It's just this black man found me when I was getting ready to just say fuck all men, and God sent me a good one. So I was thankful for that. He's raised very right. He loved his mom. His mom's side are matriarch, so like the women kind of run things there. They have happy marriages in there, so I'm glad to be in a family like that. It's just I know it's rare for a lot of black women to find a black man like that who is heavily in his blackness and respects black women to the T and sees that respect for black women. So I digress. I appreciate y'all ladies.
All right, no problem, Jamani. I definitely I appreciate you mentioning, you know, your relationship and everything. I do think that there are black men out there like that, but I do believe that they're in the minority. I'm married to a black man too. I do think that they're in the minority, and so That's why the reason why I don't want to tell black women to like hold on for that possible idea, because it's kind of like a needle in a haystack situation. But I appreciate everything that you have to say, Jamani, and I'm so glad I got a chance to talk to you and get to know you today. And I hope that I can have an opportunity to have conversations with you moving forward. You very intelligent black woman, and I appreciate you. Let me go down here to Miss Chrissy, baby, and then I'll end it out. Go ahead, Miss Chrissy, baby.
Thanks, Trigger. You had me cracking up when you dropped that guy so fast. I was woo.
He was doing. I already knew he was about to do too much.
Oh, I was screaming. I wanted to bring up, and this is a controversial take, real quick, just to illustrate how they don't see it for black women. So I'm sorry, I had a phone call. I first saw the documentary of Hurricane Katrina, and I was so upset. And I was like, I can't believe they did black people like that. But then I got more upset when I started seeing the TikTok stories of what was happening in the Superdome and around the city to the women and girls and children, like the I don't even know if you could say decap child in the bathroom after being SA'd, and all that going on. And I mean, some of the black men was blaming it on the prisoners, but I'm like, usually in apocalyptic times, men are gonna men. You know what I mean? And I just felt like, why wasn't those voices heightened of what was happening to the women and children during that event or whatever? And again, that's why I said, like, it's so hard to be pro-black, because we always want to scapegoat what happens to the black women, and then we just, that was so messed up. That was, we're cheering and pumping our fists at the discrimination that the black people, of course, suffered through Hurricane Katrina, but we're not going to talk about what happened to the black women and girls and children. So then, again, that's just another example of how we always are kind of pushed to the back. I also wanted to say that I do agree that this place is a very safe space for black women, and I'm very appreciative of it. I'm 45 years old. I think about 10 plus years ago, I stopped dating after my divorce, and I just realized probably for the rest of my life, I'm okay with being single for the rest of my life, and this pouring into me and my daughters, and just living life happy with myself. I had to learn how to just be okay with myself and my sisterhood. I really think the whole Southern California conversation really needs to be talked about, because it's probably the most anti-black men I've ever seen in my life. And I grew up in the Northeast in a predominantly black and Latino area, so this was definitely a culture shock. I would say Miami. I lived in Miami for a little bit. It's kind of the same way, but we're all we got. I don't think we should have our head down and feel sorry for ourselves, but I think we do need to recognize the reality of it. Again, like that documentary. Yes, that's such an atrocity for what happened to black people, but nobody's really talking about what happened to the women and children. And that's just the story of our lives. But thanks, Trigger, for having us up here, and have fun at the movies with your daughter.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I gotta
Hey.
my daughter, she likes to stay in a house and just be on her tablet and drawing and gaming. Like, she's very introverted. So sometimes I got to go on and drag this girl outside in the real world. She already talking about some, you sure you don't want to take dad? No, I don't. You're coming. That's it. So yeah. So yeah, we going to horror is like my favorite genre. So, and she really likes it too. So we gonna go check out that weapons that's coming out. It's got a real good Rotten Tomatoes rating too. Not that that's necessarily reliable, but yeah. But all right, y'all, I gotta get out of here. I
Have a
just
good
want you to
time.
know, if you're a black woman and you're listening to this, you're awesome, you're amazing, you're special, you're valuable, and don't let nobody tell you otherwise. This is a safe space for black women and black women only. Anybody else, I may let you speak, but just beware. But it's always a safe space for black women, because at the end of the day, we may not always agree. We may not agree with everything that we say. We may even argue or disagree or debate and go back and forth. But at the end of the day, as long as we can come together after that and say, hey, sis, all right, I understand your perspective, you understand mine,
We can agree to disagree and show each other love at the end of the day, because we are all we got, just like Miss Chrissy Baby said. And with that, I'll see y'all later. I hope y'all have a great weekend. I might come back tomorrow. I'm not for sure, but I hope y'all have a great weekend. I'm about to start my period, y'all. TMI, but so I might not be online for the next after today, because I can tell it's bubbling and doubling. It's about to come on, so I'm probably gonna be out of order tomorrow and Sunday. But all right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. Love y'all.